Oh shit! I forgot. I don't have a fucking intro to play. This is going awesome. Oh no, where's the thing that I made? Crap. Okay, so go away. I want to do over. Yeah, this already didn't. Okay, this already didn't quite start the way I. There we go. Now it's working the way I want. Lobo, come here, dude. How do you? Shit. What do you mean? Oh, great. Okay. Of course, he only comes over here now for his butt to get in there. Because he tries to trick everybody into scratching his butt. Woo Flu press conference. Yeah, I stole it by myself this time. And I'm hearing my son destroying the rest of the apartment. So that's a bit distracting. And Stream Elements works. Okay. So I had specific things that I wanted to chat about in general, but I was going to write it. And I felt like it would have been like too short of a read, I guess. Oh yeah, somebody's shooting people outside too. Everybody's going crazy and gonna die. All that good shit. Oh, cool. Got Simon modding. Seth could mod. You can post links to all sorts of shit. Post links to the Graded Point 5 mailing list. Let me see. There we go.
What are you doing?
Oh shit.
Oh dear God.
I was like, well, there he is. I can't hear him.
Guys, I apologize for what you're about to see. You got the keys and
This is my first one that I was doing kind of solo. So
well, I like the feng shui you got going here. You got the colors right. You're wearing a color appropriate to the what you're doing here. It's,
yeah, I played around with the settings and stuff. It's just that my account's not a paid account.
Oh, I know, yeah.
So I kept going, oh, this will be neat, and it'll be like, yeah, if you pay us, you can use it.
Yeah. Maybe I'll try it out for a month one time to see what you like. Save us optimists, your only hope. Well, guys, calm down. It's okay.
I'm good when I have somebody like bounce things off of back and forth. Otherwise, it's me talking to the chat and myself. I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
It being myself is that I sit there and feel like I'm talking to myself. Hold on. Mm-hmm. I'm going to switch headphones.
Okay. $263,000. Oof. I like the way Pipe's got her hair fixed today too. Doesn't look. The bangs are starting to grow back a little bit, guys. You see that? Yeah, it's very nice. Yeah. There's one side.
And that's neat too. Like being on this end is pretty cool though, getting to see like
you get the kind of what's going on. I will recommend one thing. 1, 2. I think it's the third option on your setup where you can like make the windows like spread out a little more because we look kind of weird just bunched up together.
Side to side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there you go.
That one, it shrinks us a little. It's Still looking forward to the return of the tufts, the little hair tufts. Yeah, that's gonna take a while to get them back. The freaking makes me sad.
Yeah, I was just commenting that your hair you can see it starting to grow back a little bit in front. So it's a
Yeah.
little better. Yeah. Oh, got a Mountain Dew something.
Voltage.
Gotcha.
Instead of the alcohol. I considered the alcohols, but
Mhm.
did you hear it? Comic Skate is dead? Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally just
$263,000 in just over 6 hours.
yeah, that's
Dead as a doornail.
freaking God. I wish I could just be him because that's too cool.
I mean,
you? I like looking like me, but if I could be him while still looking like me, that would be cool.
Hey Ethan, can we be you on April 2nd?
Yeah.
Can we be you on April 2nd? That would be great.
Lobo, you're the one that said you wanted to be in here. Do your duties and lay down. Down. Man, you're such a good listener to your trainer. Jeez. We can get your rendition of Call Me Maybe now that you're in charge. Oh, that's right. I saw that thing with my face on it and oops. There we go. Okay, go lay down.
Didn't you hear Ethan is funding the whole campaign himself? That was
oh my goodness.
That is
one of them? Is that one of the legit?
That's one of the things they're saying that he's dipping in and funding it himself, and that's why it looks so big right now. And dude, I went to get, I went and backed it, and I was like literally there in seconds, right? And by the time I backed it, remember, I'm thinking, okay, I'll probably like maybe 1 through 20, right? 61.
Damn. That's like the moment it went live.
Yeah, the moment it went live.
So freaking cool. I
and then I
stuff like that.
And then when I came back, it still said 0. But then I refreshed it. It said 23,000. That was in the first minute.
Jeez, man.
And I think his previous record was 90K in 20 minutes. He did 100K in 15.
Damn.
Yeah.
Beat his old record. That's awesome.
Hatch says I backed and refreshed it, said 90K. So
here it is. Didn't you hear? Oh wow, it's a little back now. I'm gonna get more on it with the highlighting stuff.
It's okay.
And I don't know if this stream can get super chats either.
Yeah, it can.
It can?
Yeah.
Neat.
I mean,
somebody is shooting something or firing something off, so Lobo is freaking out.
If anybody wants to test it out, make sure it works.
Right? Let's see if it works.
I mean, yeah, the icon's there, so.
Oh, my nose. I went 51 in that first minute.
Yeah, see,
damn.
Wilberforce says I got 15. Pretty good.
He is a German Shepherd mix. He's mixed with a very, very low percentage wolf. So the fact that he is training to be a service dog is pretty fucking awesome.
I'll start building my brand soon. I mean, just do, like Mainland said, get out there, do your channel, do your networking. That's what you got to do.
Yep. I don't know what he's doing or saying.
God knows.
Well, now I found out today that, man, I apparently put myself in peril like multiple times today.
Oh, you went out because you went out to eat and
went out to eat at an Asian restaurant. Got
oh wow, you just like
laugh in the face of danger.
Just tempting fate. Not only did you go to a restaurant, you went to an Asian restaurant.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that would explain why I was like, we were the only ones there.
Can you get coronavirus through live streams? It says no. Okay, I'm good. I mean, I hope nothing. I mean, you washed your hands and everything, I'm assuming. So
yeah. I just think it's funny. And then I got the atomizers for not this tank, but a different tank.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know we're shipping from China, but they ship from China.
Oh.
And I found those in the mail today, and I was like, what? But that's safe too, or it's supposed to be safe. But still, it's just like me and tornadoes. It's whatever.
Do you two do voiceover work? I do it for I'll do it for trailers and for our own so far. Nobody's asked me to do it for theirs.
I've done voiceover work for a couple other people outside of graded stuff.
Piper loves to gamble with her life.
Indeed.
So we yesterday went to Sam's to get some things, and of course the water was just gone. Except for Dasani. Nobody wants Dasani.
Isn't that funny?
Well, Dasani tastes like ass. Like,
right? I never thought, unflavored water had a taste until Dasani.
Yeah, it was like, man, what in the world? So to let you know what happened, trying to find some water obviously didn't work. So Mamatron got smart and she's ordering it directly from Deer Park instead of going through it. And it's like, $4.95 per thing, right? So it's not overinflated or anything. Oh, we're getting super chats.
Oh, here we go. You're beautiful. I don't know if you're talking about me or Optimus.
I always say thank you because
right. But I'll say thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hail, it works.
Read Cascadia on Webtoons.
I was sitting here like, I don't want to butcher this name, and then I just stopped. Read Cascadia.
I will say Cascadia. That's what it sounds like to me, or it looks like to me.
Now I do have some people are lining up backstage, but I did want to before I open it up for everybody to chat, and this can pretty much just be a chat, chill, whatever your stuff is, all that good stuff. But I thought Piper did the Ethan freeze. I gotta stop looking at y'all. Like,
yeah, you did kind of just sit there for a second and do nothing. I was like,
yeah. So, what is it like to edit a comic? What would Piper know? Still waiting for her notes.
Wow.
On the most recent pages.
Hey.
Damn! I gave you notes. Actually, they're in the document. But that is kind of what I wanted to talk about because it's neat and it's very different. The first things I used to edit were articles. And editing an article is pretty easy because you do your typical copy editing. And then you're basically making sure that the thing is search engine optimized for online articles. Otherwise, it's basically like, there's copy editing and okay, let's print. I went from that to creative writing, tutoring and editing.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time that was short stories. So that one, it's a tiny bit more involved. You do the copy edit and then you're trying to make sure the characters or whatever, making sure the continuity is right and everything else is working. So, it's a little more involved. And then
all right,
I'm going to kill that child. And then I went from that to research papers. And that one is shut up!
Kind of forgot to mute.
Don't make me kick your ass. All right.
Guys, this is normal for pre-stream, in case y'all don't know.
Yeah, usually it's pre-stream. Usually it's going to bed, but I'm going in early because a lot of people have streams for like 9 and stuff.
And it's Sunday. So.
Yeah. So, in research paper editing is, again, copy editing, fact checking, and making sure it's in the right format and make sure it sounds good. It sounds intelligent.
Yeah.
Novels and stuff like that is where you start getting way more involved besides copy editing.
Right.
You're doing the copy editing. You're making sure it sounds good. You're making sure the continuity and everything like that is good. But then you're also basically, you have to stay on top of the author too.
Mm-hmm.
So, comics, I didn't know anybody making comics for the longest time. So comics, this Peregrine, Wings of the Falcon, is the fourth one, I think, that I'm taking on. Yeah, if we count Midnight Cowboy.
Yeah, well.
And you made the chats go deaf.
Lord,
and editing a comic is so different from all the other stuff, because I've edited, scripts before, but this is a comic strip. So, or script. Ugh. So you're not just copy editing. You're copy editing. You're making sure the characters stay in character, continuity, all that good stuff. But then, it describes panels. So you're making sure, the panels are actually, gonna make sense and look right. And that's mostly just working back and forth with a writer at that point. But so many people work on a comic that it's really interesting, and I'm starting to get the hang of it, that you're not just, working with the writer, you're chasing down the artist, you're chasing down anybody else involved. Lobo, for fuck's sake. No.
Dog's gonna dog.
No. They're shooting somebody else, not us.
It's reassuring.
But that's what I think is really neat. But I also think that what helps if you're gonna edit comics or give it a shot is if you're coming from being a writer, especially creative writer, and an artist, it is that much easier to talk to the writers and the artists. And it's also a lot easier to help them when I need to help them and stuff like that. But Bobo. But like I said, the more people that are involved, the stranger the workload is, I guess.
Well, you got like I know with ours, you got different, because you're going to have different people who want different perspectives and different ideas, and you're the one trying to make it all happen because you're trying to pull. Okay, where's this? What this? And see, I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of a hint. Piper didn't even know about this project until like a month ago. So she's been getting a real crash course on this world, on Peregrine, on everything. So, and honestly, from the chats that I've been, watching, I don't comment too much except unless I have to. But most of the time, it's just her. It's like, but why are we doing this now? Shouldn't that be done later? Or is this, why is this a big, why does this need to even be in here? Mostly it's saying, Scott, shut up. And that's usually about like talking about it on live streams and stuff, which is fine. Just whatever. We're trying to promote it now, so it's good. But we're all excited. We're all hyped up for it. So
don't worry, Lobo knows how to say he has to go to the bathroom, and he went to the bathroom recently, so that's not a problem.
That's not a gotta go.
He's waiting by the door because people are on the other side. So.
Yeah.
But
so you're
like being a project manager.
Yeah. I would say when editor doesn't mean just like looking at words and making sure they all fit where they're supposed to and stuff like that. It also means like putting things in order.
Yeah.
Where they make sense,
Yeah. And yeah, you're trying to keep everybody happy. But at the same time, your main goal is to keep the potential readers happy.
Right. And
sometimes that sucks. Sometimes you just gotta say, no, man, don't.
Please stop. No, please.
Yeah.
LOL, what are you doing? Right, kind of thing,
God, man, who the fuck are they shooting? Why does it take this many bullets?
Is it shooting or is it? I mean, does it sound like gunfire?
It's really far off, so I can't really tell. They could be shooting or they could be doing fireworks, but that seems really weird to be doing right now.
Are we well, we're getting kind of close to St. Patty's Day, but I don't think they'd be celebrating 2 days early.
Yeah, with that.
Yeah.
Seems weird. The stream needs an editor. That is one thing I do not do is video editing. The most I could do is say, I have an idea, you guys.
You guys have seen my video editing. It's not the best.
I just don't like it. It takes me way too long.
Mm-hmm.
And I was never taught how to do it really. So it's mostly me flailing around going, I know there's like really cool tools right here, but I have no idea how to use them.
Yeah. I don't think it. I'm starting to think it's not gunshots, because if it was gunshots, you would have heard sirens by now.
Well, you don't know where I live.
Well, some people think you're getting ready to get purged, so I don't know.
Right? I can't give the cocaine because I'm on my StreamYard account.
Yeah, I have the paid account, so I'm the only one that can like throw the cocaine. I mean, well,
I can like screen share and go to.
yeah. You could screen share it. I could give, because you could open, like if I sent you a file, you could open it in Chrome in a tab, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could do that and then play it. I mean, it'd be kind of weird.
I know. I was like,
let's do this awkwardly, right? I think it'd be too big to send over Discord anyway.
I'm out. I don't want to like usually say exactly where I am, but let's just say this place isn't even considered a town, let alone a city. It's not even a town. But yeah, I just really wanted to chat that to any potential editors or editors that haven't tried doing comics yet. That it's way more involved. It's more involved than chasing down your creative writers and telling them to hurry up because they're on a deadline. And
so, you got any more people waiting in back room?
Yeah.
They might be able to talk about.
Now we are going to start
to the guy
shoving people in here.
How many? Hello.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Stop.
Looking off into space is like, oh.
Sorry, I'm just listening to the stream. So we're talking editing. We're talking putting books together and doing the work. So I mean, it is a lot of work. You're herding cats, Comic book artists and creatives are all over the place, and for a lot of us guys in Comicsgate, we're doing our own editing, and that's a nightmare in any field. So I would suggest, if you've got if you do have the budget, to look into a professional editor. But as Piper has said, it's a different animal to editing novels, just like writing comics is different to writing novels, writing TV. It's a different format.
I will say one benefit of having an editor on your book or your comic, besides being able to say, we have an editor, is that the editor ends up being like, if anything goes wrong at all, it now falls on the editor instead of you.
It's a fall guy, right? Yeah, no, I guess, like the main thing is that you've got consistent quality in your work. I think the quality is very important with what's going to be happening going forward. But
dead air.
Dead air. Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to sort of find my rhythm at the moment.
I'm clicking on it on the wrong stupid thing because I'm stupid like that. There we go. That is not what I was trying to click on. It moved. Oh, well, that's okay.
Stay on top of you. Oh gosh.
Yeah, and if you're looking to hire an editor, do know that there are different levels of editing. Like if you hire a copy editor,
She got
okay,
lost.
I'm trying to.
So you guys know, we put out the Blade Devil Xenotype crossover cover today. Well, last night, so it's on there. It's available. We're not
It's
going to be
cool.
sending those out over after the campaign's done. That's exclusively for this Indiegogo. So if you're a fan of Blade Devil, check that out. Grab it. It's a must-have. And yeah, we appreciate all our backers and our support.
Yeah, I saw that just a
There we
little
go.
while ago, and yeah, more people need to know
Yeah.
about that because I
Mhm.
saw when Froggo tweeted about it earlier. I didn't
Yeah,
even know that,
yeah.
and Froggo is usually on top of that stuff too, and I didn't,
For sure, yeah. I sent it out in an update, but I mean, that just goes to show you that not many people actually read their Indiegogo updates, right? So you got to be out here telling people what's going on.
Yeah.
So
So
it's fantastic. It was done by Odie and Toxic Man Baby. They did it. It's a jam cover, so it's really
Nice.
cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah,
and what's really good about that is like it was so put together that you wouldn't be able to tell who did what. You know what I mean? That's how good,
Yeah.
how well put together it was. You know, that's
thanks.
when you know it's a true jam. You know, like
Yeah, it was really great. It was really great. Like Toxic Man Baby was saying, like he wanted to sort of adjust her style, the way that he drew her, so that she would match sort of the Xenotype type aesthetic a little bit more. And him and Odie got on really well behind the scenes. It was a really fun collaboration. And over the next I don't know, week or so, however long it is, they're going to be coloring it live on Raging Golden Eagles live streams. So you guys are going to get to see a lot of it over the next, things. It's going to be rad.
I think one thing I liked about that was the fact that his pen name is Toxic Man Baby.
Yeah, I know. I said to him, I was like, hey, I'm about to give you your big sort of celebrity polish shout out. Do I call you Toxic Man Baby? Like, is that what's going to be going on the final sort of credits here? Like,
well, once again, an editor trying to like figure out, is this what you want? I mean, for real? I mean,
yeah.
I'll put it down if you want to, but I'm just making sure,
For sure.
Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say earlier. Is if you're going to hire an editor, definitely make sure you know and they know what you're hiring them for.
Yeah,
because that can affect the price. There are just copy editors that will just only go through your script and correct things, basic stuff. I'm really surprised that there are still copy editors, considering that all the programs now seem to have spell check and grammar check, but sometimes they don't catch what you're trying to do, especially if it's names or something or dialogue. So,
for sure.
But there's just different levels of them being involved.
Yeah.
And but yes, you can have them basically try to organize your entire project to make sure from start to finish that everything's the way it's supposed to be.
And I would, if I may say, when you do it, when you want to get an editor on board, even if you're self-editing, right? Like, I'm sure Liam, you're doing. You got to make sure that and obviously you would know your own work, right? But you got to make sure you really understand the work. You understand sequences, how things are supposed to happen, how they're supposed to fall in place, et cetera, et cetera. Bring in somebody who is not going to impose their vision, but to make your vision come to life.
Yeah, exactly. And if you are self-editing as well, there's a sort of little trick called the 3 week rule, which is kind of hell if you're doing deadlines. But generally, when you finish doing your work, like set it aside for 3 weeks. Just finish it, do what you're gonna do, put it aside. And if you're and then come back and edit it about 3 weeks later, that should be enough time that it's completely out of your mind and you will read it fresh. And so you won't fall into that trap where you're reading and you're seeing what you wrote in your head instead of what you actually wrote down.
Yeah.
So
let's see. I'm kind of looking through the chat.
Hi, Ryan. Hey, Ryan.
Yeah.
Hey, Ed, Sims. Everyone's out in Force today. Wilberforce. Yep. Ultimate Agent 25, Matter now. Everything's purple. It's the Piper show.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the special edition.
Yeah, I might randomly do these if I just have something that I just like think would be a good topic, but don't really know any other way to do it.
Yeah, Liquor Jim's a good dude. I've seen him around on Cecil stream and stuff since, and we had fun that night in the 24-hour stream. It was good times. Good dude.
Reading what Ultimate Agent said, I don't care what anyone says, Mium is going to be a thing.
Give it time. I hit up Micah earlier today saying, hey, do you want to do like a stream? Because I'm trying to get out there and get like, hey, guys, the book's still here. I know Cyberfrog's huge, but Xenotype is still here, you know? Yeah. But he was like, oh, he's got to crash. I was like, oh, damn. But another day. I'll keep hitting him up. We'll get on a stream eventually.
Yeah. His
fusion.
He's usually like him being on that stream is kind of weird because he has his sleep time is usually during the day now because he's on duty with RT during like I think he's like 1 a.m. to like in the daytime, pretty much is his what you call shift as it were. So
yeah, I can adjust my schedule. And that's the thing for other streamers as well. If you're catching this, like, I want to get on everything. I want to be out there, get him like pushing. My own show was going to be set up to launch this Sunday, but Elle, our female co-host, she was the Tomb Raider girl. Like, she's really huge on Tomb Raider, and her parents got the fucking coronavirus.
Oh no!
So we had to cancel. We had to cancel it, and she's like, "I've just got to care for them to make sure they're going to be okay, and then we'll be able to get everything going." I'm like, "Oh, great!" So I've got to reschedule a show. I had to find a new female co-host until we can replace her. You know, and it's just a lot of running around. So until that happens, I'm stuck dependent on everyone else.
Yeah.
Wow.
Odie's in the chat saying, hello, I'm drawing Xenotype. Like, well, he's working. That's
hey, if you want in, Liam's got the link.
Yeah. You want for sure. I'll send it over to him.
I'm to find the elusive toilet paper unicorn he was hunting. Yes, I found him at Walgreens. I found him at the drugstore, believe it or not. And let me preface when I say this. That was not a situation where I was going out trying to hoard some toilet paper. That was a situation where Mamatron needed some toilet paper, and I was looking, and I would not have been doing it for any other reason.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Everything's sold out here. They've got quotas on how much pasta you're allowed to buy, how much rice you're allowed to buy. So
people are acting like we're in the middle of a hurricane.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And somebody who's lived through hurricanes, I know the feeling. You try to get your supplies squared away just in case.
Yeah.
But I don't think anybody's going to need. Nobody's going to like be in a need of a year's worth of toilet paper right now, and I don't think anyway. But
this is where we learn that Liam is a secret prepper and has been preparing for the apocalypse for probably about 7 or 8 years now. So I have no worries about anything. I have everything I need.
That is not the one I was clicking on.
Yeah, I know that too. Oh, look.
Yo, Dark Gift.
Yeah, what's up, peeps?
Yeah, what's up, Dark Gift? Yeah, only 2 what's ups though, but it's all right.
If you want in here, you can fit in here too. I need to tell my kid to shut up.
Is there anybody waiting right now, or?
No.
Okay, it's just us 3. Oh, and okay.
Yeah, I had some messages, so I thought it was people asking for the link, but then they didn't.
They were just like probably just a normal day, just dick pics. That's all.
Hold on, I gotta yell at the kid again.
Okay.
It's cool. Odie's not going to be able to come through because he's not far off crashing. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
So he's just coming in to show support and say hello. So how was your adventure out in the shopping center? Were the weirdos out in force, or was it just a barren wasteland devoid of toilet paper?
The only thing that was missing from the places I went was mostly toilet paper and water. They hadn't hit the like gone after pasta and rice and stuff like that yet, and which is really silly because I mean I guess you could say pasta and rice are non-perishable, but a lot of people I've seen some places where they're buying all the meat and stuff like that, and I'm like, no. You buy the canned foods. You don't. You buy things you buy things that you wouldn't need to cook.
Exactly. But people are people, and they don't know what they're doing. This is nothing new, right?
So how many? Were the dick pics, Piper, or no?
Were they dick pics? No, actually,
there's some dudes on there that think they see a woman online. They think that a dick pic is a hello. Like.
What's funny is people are dudes are too scared to send me dick pics because I say yes, you can send them. Go ahead.
They're like, wait a minute, what's this weird?
Yeah, they're like, it's a trap.
Yeah. There's a secret website out there that's like a measuring stick on each one. Like,
yeah. If Piper wants my dick pic, she's got to work for him. So and then just go handing those out.
Take a little bit of effort.
That's it. Got to chase me.
So somebody, I just want to let you know, somebody said on behalf of Australia, they said they were not going to give Tom Hanks back until we made Donald Trump resign. So I guess y'all got Tom Hanks now.
Wow.
Oh, jeez, Louise.
See if you can hit
She's
the
a human
narrating
type.
type.
Yeah, sure.
Could you imagine Tom Hanks narrating a manga?
Yeah. Gosh. I wonder what he'd charge. You wouldn't be. You'd have to go through his. It'd be impossible to get him unless you had like a decent entertainment. I wonder if his agent is through Australia, because our agencies suck, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it's better to have a US agent, but there's a tax thing. This is a boring conversation. So, So yeah, sorry.
I'm just trying to carry things on because
No, not you, me talking about agents and stuff. Like I'm sitting there thinking, these people don't want to know about this. We don't care about that.
Yeah.
So
I ain't worried about that.
But it still at least goes along with the theme of being kind of educational.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. It's kind of hard when you're talking about when you make videos about writing and editing and stuff like that, because really people just want to consume the product a lot of the time. You know what I mean? So,
So can we? I don't think we've officially said it, but can we give a big congratulations to our buddy Ethan for
yeah,
for
sure.
Tremendous.
He did all that while I was freaking asleep, man. Dang.
Yeah.
Totally. I woke up and it was like the stream's just wrapping up, and he's like, 200,000 or whatever, and I'm thinking, wow, just absolutely phenomenal. I knew he was going to do good, but phenomenal.
I mean, he crushed his previous records like nothing. It was ridiculous. I mean, he'll hit 300,000 tonight, like before 12 o'clock, I think. Midnight tonight on our time. So it's amazing. So Tom has been through Apollo 13, stranded on an island, pirate on his ship. You think Corona scares him? Oh, Blunthood passed 8K. Nice.
Congratulations.
I'm not like putting up promo pictures of people's stuff. It's because I'm not used to being the one in charge.
Don't worry about it.
It's okay.
We just tell people, that's when you verbalize it. Tell people Black Blood Hunt. Sign up for our mailing list. Is the mailing list in the thing? You didn't put the mailing list in the description, did you?
No, that was something I wanted to do, wasn't it?
Oh, for fuck's sake!
I'll do it later. That's why I asked I did ask the mods.
I'll do it now because I can.
Do you guys, speaking of editorial and running numbers and plans within plans and contingencies and backup contingencies, do you guys have a release date for Wings of the Falcon yet?
April 2nd, excuse me.
Yeah, April 2nd.
April 2nd. Cool. Is there anything special about April 2nd? Was it, or is it just
not the first?
It's not the first. Yeah, no, it's true.
Yeah, because we thought about April 1st, but it was like, everybody's gonna think it's a joke. So we were like,
yeah, that's why I said do it on the 2nd.
Oh, you added me at the worst possible time.
Yeah, I did. Whoa.
You can mute him, Piper. Hit the mute button.
Sorry, I was cooking and
I was cooking.
He was cooking, and Skynet kicked his door in and started smashing things up.
Yep.
And sorry about that. The smoke detector hates my cooking.
All right.
We got Xavier and we got Seth that's usually modding the chat.
Yep.
And sign up for the Graded Point 5 mailing list. It's different from the Indiegogo mailing list. It includes more stuff than just Wings of the Falcon.
I am working on some goodies that might come along that mailing list as well. So definitely keep an eye out for those.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
That's
So
that's the
April's
cool
going to
thing
be.
about our. I'm sorry. I would say the cool thing about our standalone mailing list is like it's not just going to be just talking about the not just the campaign. We're going to like start doing newsletters and things like that too. And what we're going to do, I've talked to my our guy about it, and we're going to use it to promote other people's campaigns too.
Mhm.
Kind of
No,
like
that's great.
hey, go check out these campaigns while they're still up and things like that.
Yeah, these are some things that we like, and you might like too.
Mm-hmm. Looks like we have a reverse harem stream. This is what Piper's always wanted.
This is itchy. Yep. I would try again now because some stuff was fixed.
Yeah. We fixed the issue. It was a silly issue. Certain things had not yet propagated through the how the Weber network.
Okay, when did that get fixed? Because I tried last night and I still had trouble.
Well, I think you're just stupid, Seth.
Wow.
Oh, we have shots are fired. And especially after Seth was just raided by Skynet and barely survived, and you're just merciless. You're just absolutely merciless.
Got to do what I got to do, man. But yeah, try it again. There was a hang up. We had to get Zoho to help us out and get it squared away. They were even going to step it up to the engineer department at one point. And it's like, oh, that's not necessary. Just tell us what we need to expect. And it basically took about a day to get everything squared away. But now it's squared away. So, but it will be by tomorrow. I can guarantee you by tomorrow there will be an Indiegogo mailing list. So.
Yeah,
fantastic. For that. Fantastic. So,
and I'll do it. And as you notice, I mean, it's still like not the best as far as lead time goes, but it's not 6 days for the campaign, Liam.
Hey, in those 6 days, I got like 100 and I think it was 173 or something people. So that's
that's good. Yeah,
it's not so
great.
But I mean, hey, people aren't checking their updates. That's what I'm saying. That's what I said from the start. Like, otherwise, everyone would know the Blade Devil Xenotype crossover cover is available now on Indiegogo.
Mm-hmm. The link should be in the chat, by the way. On the chat in the description, and Simon's just throwing it down too. So.
And I just finished scrolling to freaking.
Liam. That anime you were talking about last night, the one you couldn't remember that you thought might have been Gundam?
Did you find it? Because I looked and I couldn't find it.
I think it's Space Thunder Kids.
Space Thunder Kids. Was that done by Sunrise and it had things that looked like Gundams in it?
No, it was done by the Korean animation studio that they sometimes outsource their in-betweens to. So I think they reused a lot of designs to make their own cheaper production.
That would be fantastic. I'll have to look that up. Space Thunder Kid, did you say?
Yeah, Space Thunder Kids. It's not very good.
No, I'm sure it wasn't. So I'll look that up, and if it matches what I remember, I'll share it out on Twitter, and I'll say this is what it was, because for sure. I found it on a list of Super Robot websites. Like I said, I don't usually watch Gundam series, so.
I said it was either that one or one other one, but it was the same vein.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. No, it's interesting. If it's Korean knockoff, I didn't even consider that,
Yeah.
Take that down.
This is an example of a banner. Click on the banner to show it on screen.
Oh, God.
It just happened to be there still, and I was like,
Don't let
Piper's having problems.
I'm
Piper
having
is the
fun.
problem usually.
Exactly.
Can you, Joe Nobody said, can you guarantee Falcon, well, I guess Peregrine Wings and Falcon, will be 100% corona free? It will not be printed in China. I can guarantee you that much.
But it will be printed by corona-infected child labor in Africa.
Yes.
I heard. Yeah.
Possibly. Yes. And when I say printed, I mean they're actually going to lick every page.
So seriously though, where are you choosing to go, through Canada or through the United States to keep it Western? What are you thinking?
Probably going to go U.S. I'm thinking Mix'em is probably who we're going to go with.
Yeah.
It depends. It also depends on how much happen. How much we need to print.
Exactly.
Because, depending on can you meet our demands, kind of thing. The primary calls. I mean, I've seen what Mixum is capable of doing, so I'm satisfied as far as what I've received that people have printed through Mixum have gotten. So we'll see how it goes from there.
Yeah, no, it sounds good, and I've heard good things about Mixum as well. So there would be no, I haven't heard anything particularly bad about Print Ninja, but Mixum is who I've heard the most good about. So
yeah, the only problem with Print Ninja, which I don't have a problem, it's just that they print them in China. Obviously, it's a save cost, which and I've seen some of the books that I've gotten that were through Print Ninja. They're not bad. They're good quality, and I'm trying to knock that. It's just. Oh no, a sneeze. Rip Pipper. Yep, Pipper's you're gone, guys. You're gone.
Keep going, Optimus. Sorry, I was just.
No, it's fine.
Get all,
no, I have
Pipper got the T virus.
No, but yeah, so that's one of the things, and but Print Ninja is like, and plus when I heard Malin saying it was going to take like a couple, maybe a month or more than a month for them to get their shipment in. And now he's going to try to get a refund on that and just print it through Canada.
Yeah. See, that's what sort of worried me about China as well. Like, I'm looking at this, and right now, Comicsgate is built on trust, right? The trust of the customer, the trust of the the creator to deliver in timely and effective fashion. And whereas you're getting the best savings from China, you're also running into a situation where you're surrendering a certain amount of control and you're opening yourself up to large shipping delays. So I do think that going local through bolstering the American economy, especially when it's low, bolstering the Western economy is not only a responsible thing to do from a business standpoint, but it will allow you closer oversight over your and control over your production. And I think that we need that in these early stages.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it makes sense. The whole thing started Comicsgate. Our trust got violated by the big pros.
Exactly. We're a disenfranchised fan base, a disenfranchised fandom. They're killing properties. They've killed Doctor Who, they've killed Star Trek, they've killed Star Wars, they've buried comic books. It's the only thing that we can do is build trust and build other outlets for these people to enjoy. So speaking of which, Wings of the Falcon, I want to know who your villain is. That's one of my big questions. Who is the villain of the first book?
He's on the
If you turn to the last page, there's a reflective surface.
We're getting meta. Tell me something. You don't have to tell me everything. Like, is he a Magneto type? Is he like a Bane type? Is he like what sort of villain should we be expecting the young lady to be facing off against? Is she super powered, like a Lex Luthor, a mad scientist, a monster from beyond the world? Like, what should we expect her challenges to be?
This particular villain will be like a kind of a combo of Lex and a bit of power, like actual superpower, but nothing. It's going to be used in such a unique way that nobody. I don't think anybody's ever really thought about using it in that way before.
And that's great. That's always a good sign. So he's a superhuman, but he's an intelligent schemer or scammer.
Yeah,
you would say.
Yeah.
I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of Xavier's ideas he came up with. I was like, that's a brilliant idea. It's like, do you know how big a hospital bus is? God damn it, Cider. Big ass hospital bus. How do I get this big ass hospital bus? I'll tell you.
Now I'm cool. I don't know what it is where I get like nervous, but now I'm okay. And then everything's
now Piper just
She is gone. Oh, she's back. Welcome back. Hi.
Where'd you go?
It's lovely to have you here.
What?
Well, I can't say nothing. I've done it before too. So. Oh man, that was funny.
Yeah.
He'll be the Falcon's natural Poe, the mouse. Also ham-fisted Disney stand-in.
Awesome. So it's exciting. It's exciting to see these guys. Exciting to see you guys come up with your sort of new title. I know a little bit about it. I know like the opening scene. I thought that was big approve there. I'm not going to tell anyone, don't worry. But I think that's really rad. I think that it's an interesting property that is going to be probably highly successful, given that you've built up your platform. All of these guys here in the chat know who you are. They're going to support you, and your storytelling seems strong and on point. You know, I would like to see more of the art. Like, do we know who the artist is? Have you announced that yet? Or
yeah, it's announced on the stream. His name is Doug Franchin. He's done some mainstream work, and things like that.
Sometimes I ask questions I know for the people in the chat that don't.
I think he's done some work for New Avengers, and I think he did some DC stuff.
Yeah. So he's got his chops, and
yeah.
Liam's over there like,
I'm shocked because Ryan is going to shame me. Ryan has abandoned me. Ryan has said no more support for you, Liam. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, also, since that stream has been declared that next time she messes up, she's fixing it herself.
I don't know how. You'll just have to lose your channel.
Time to learn. Time to learn if you want to earn.
Y'all don't pay me.
That would be a worthwhile way to lose the channel.
Well, if we lose our channel, we'll never be able to pay you.
So what are you thinking for page count? The standard 48 pages for the Indiegogo model is what you're like.
Yep.
The standard Comicsgate model. Cool.
Yep. 48 pages.
How much of it is written?
That's like 34, 35 pages.
I think the script is done.
Yeah, it's done.
Right. Yeah. Now we're just going through.
Okay, that's an update.
We're just tweaking it now, so it is all written now.
Just editing it through.
I made some changes to dialogue this morning. Probably do some more tonight.
Mm-hmm. Do you have? No, I can't ask you that. That's a big spoiler. Let's see. So what else? Someone else talk. Shut me up. I'm out of control, guys. I'm out of control.
We do have some interesting plans for the overall project. Not just this book, but we got other characters that we want to do that maybe they're not going to get their own book, but they're going to start appearing in other books with other characters.
Yep. There's some.
I will say this.
Go ahead.
I got to make some characters, and everybody will know at least one of them right away.
Yeah, werewolf.
Yeah, you called it.
Sorry, go on.
Well, I'm saying, everybody remembers what happened to Hank McCoy, right? So think about that. See, Cyberfrog's at 268K. So
yeah. 268,000.
Have you ever?
Cyberfrog, absolutely phenomenal. It'll be interesting because it'll be interesting to see whether or not the campaign is sort of front-loaded or continues its growth, because unlike with the first campaign and even the second campaign, he was still drawing people in, you know what I mean? The Comicsgate was still growing really quickly, and people are like, I want my frog book, so they're jumping on. Now they're all here, and they want their frog book. So is it going to be a big blow up in the beginning and sort of coast along and then spike up at the end, or is it going to be just a steady climb the whole time? We don't know.
Yeah. He mentioned something about like every week he's going to do a different thing to kind of keep people interested. So,
hey, Piper, could you do that again?
What that?
This is the story of a lovely lady.
I was just playing with things. I might keep it like this for a little bit.
Oh wow.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I tried to do. That's what I tried to do with Xenotype. You know what I mean? I got a couple of things planned, and right now the Blade Devil cover. Go check that out. To try and sort of keep it going every sort of week, have something a little bit new. But we require people to back early so that I have the budget to essentially accommodate these new things, so that I'm not going into red. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But Ethan does not have that problem.
No.
say my big concern is anybody gonna have money in 2 weeks?
Yeah, it might be full-blown Corona apocalypse, Walking Dead, like Mad Max, people just roaming the streets in gas masks with chainsaw swords.
Or everyone spent all their money this week and
I
last
mean,
week
yeah,
and the week before.
yeah, that could be a thing too. But I think that, I guess that's a fair concern. But I don't want to sort of buy into the model that there's a limited amount of money to go around for everyone. You know what I mean?
No.
I think that we can expand our market and grow. Right now, I'm trying to sort of branch more into the anime community, but they have super strict sort of rules everywhere about advertising. And so I've been banned from like 4 forums at this point for just going like, hey guys, if you like these anime, come check out my Xenotype manga. You probably really like it. And banned. It's like,
Well,
oof.
is that your first post?
Well, yeah, on like
Well,
3.
there you go.
Not on my first one, but on the other 3 it was, yeah.
Oh, that's part of why. I mean, if you went in there and you hung out with them and just said, you're working on stuff, and when you're ready, you'll share it with everybody. And
But I'm only human.
Yeah, you kind of want to wait because. So you kind of want to wait because otherwise it's like that one person follows you just to send you a DM about their book.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
I hate that. I understand that. That's a fair call.
Yeah.
But I'm only human, and there's only one Liam. Like, I'm working like a madman to stay afloat, and I've got the book on top of that, and streams.
Yeah.
No,
I get that.
It's my own fault, though. You're probably exactly right. If I spent more time. But one of the forums, the very first forum, I was a member of for like, a year and a half or more. No, it's even before the book, probably close to 3 years at this point. And I just dropped a link in a comment thread, like about Guyver, and they were like, boom, banned, no advertising. Come back in 2 weeks. And I thought, that sucks. Like, they deleted my post so people couldn't even follow the link to it. So it's tough. It's tough. But it is what it is.
Here we go.
Now, I do have an interesting question. Will the Indiegogo be the only way the book is distributed?
For these versions of the book, yes. We have had other. Sorry, were you asking these guys or me?
Well, all the your
It's like,
project
yeah.
is there. So let's get the answer for everybody here.
Yeah, well, for me at this point in time, yeah, in the foreseeable future, we have had other offers through larger publishers and stuff that we will be looking into down the road in the future, but nothing that I can officially comment on right now. These are limited collector's editions and my way of giving back to the community. So you guys have something that's going to be worth value and time, and I'll know who my core support audience are, and I'll have an open line of dialogue with them, because I truly, sincerely believe that having open communication with your fans is absolutely essential. And by blocking that path is largely what has caused the industry to atrophy and storytelling as a medium to suffer in the last couple of decades. So that's my answer.
We had Gail in the chat briefly, and we have Vinny in the chat.
Vinny's a legend, and Gail is Gail wants people to join her and work for her.
Yeah.
That'll be
even somebody was saying hard pass to that.
Yep.
Yeah, a little bit desperate there, Gail. A little bit transparent.
Wait, is that what her thing was about when she was posting the other day, where she was going to teach everybody?
No, this is different. This is from today.
No, this is this is from.
Well, you
today.
know what they say.
Her and like, right? But some of the like loudest, most annoying, most hateful anti-Comicsgate kind of people in the mainstream are suddenly trying to play nice.
They're scorpions trying to jump on the back of frogs to get them over this pond. It ain't gonna happen. Too smart
we know
for that.
The story goes.
Yeah, and it sucks as well because there are people here.
No one alive.
Yeah, it sucks too because there are people here that are going to look at that and go like, "This is my chance to get into the mainstream, and this is my chance to make friendly with the social justice warriors and build bridges, and maybe everything will be all right." And these are the people that are going to get walked on and have their careers trampled into the ground in the mud when they have nothing but the sort of best intentions. It sucks, but we just got to be smart and know what we're doing. Build up your own brand, build up your own company. Don't work for someone else. Follow your vision, chase your dreams.
Well, I have to run. I have to go
Okay.
make dinner. So
Spoon's right here.
Piper, don't burn everything down, please.
As soon as he goes, it's chaos. She's going to
Right?
go topless.
Good night,
What you got?
Apple Pop.
Yep, I will see y'all all later on different assorted social medias and all that stuff. Be sure to sign up for the mailing list, and we will see you tomorrow night. We'll talk more about the project and all that good stuff.
Yep.
Y'all later. Bye.
I also have to go. My lunch break is over.
Oh, okay.
They're the same person doing different voices. Confirmed.
Oh no, you found me.
Yeah.
Take care. Don't burn the channel down.
Anybody else want to hop in?
Yeah. She can't be alone with me, guys. She doesn't trust herself.
Also, you can talk your book. I could like screen share if you want to show anything. And also, I was thinking about taking questions from the my ear.
Oh, no.
Taking questions from the chat too. Since this one's supposed to be kind of educational.
Bring in
but I-
Vinny. Bring in Vinny.
Bring in
Vinny and I are flint and steel. We're fire. Bring in Vinny.
All right.
Yeah.
Do.
Yeah. Don't lose your job, Hatch 450SX. You know, you need that to buy books.
I'm actually kind of lucky. My job, I still have work during this whole. People gotta buy food. I work at a butcher shop in Delhi.
Oh, that's awesome. You are a butcher. So you're the guy to talk to if you
I'm
need
just
to
a
hide a
clerk
body.
at the butcher shop.
Oh.
I'm just a clerk. Yep.
Oh. Well, as a clerk, have you seen business skyrocket? Has this been good for you?
The past 2 days were brutal. I'll give you an idea. Okay. We got a full order in of chicken breasts Friday, middle of the day. Normally, that lasts us till Tuesday, right? Nope. Sold out by noon on Saturday. Oh, man. I'm just glad we're closed Sunday so I can relax today.
I gotta say this. Those ears are
Yeah.
fake. Starting to think you're crazy enough to get surgery for elf ears.
No.
About
She's
that.
been trying.
What?
I said
I've
she's
been trying. But the people that are licensed to do it are pretty far away, and obviously it's pretty expensive too. So basically I would have to plan a trip and the surgery.
Oh, that's not good.
But it wouldn't be for elf ears, it would be their werewolf ear pointing.
You want the werewolf ear pointing. Don't go crazy.
No, that's just what I call it, because you can call it for anything, but they don't have to be like this big.
Yeah, if you're going to tell her not go crazy, you're a little late. But that's her best feature.
She's got quotes on her lycanthropy ears, guys. That's who Piper is. It's great.
Yup.
Oh, good.
Now you know
Sorry.
what'll happen if any of my personal comments make it.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of werewolf stuff going around. I want to say you should probably try to hit up. You should probably try and hit up Phil, from Magicop, because he's doing a really amazing werewolf book. Like,
I know a few of them that are
Malin
coming.
is gonna be jealous because he will be the Wolf King. When he puts this thing out, it is phenomenal. It looks like if you're familiar with a Werewolf the Apocalypse, like the first wave of World of Darkness art, like it's that sort of tribal lycanthrope sort of appearance. And the story that he sort of run by me so far is pretty solid. Is a simple, easy to grasp concept that's interesting as well. So lots of really exciting stuff coming out still. Lots of stuff coming out of Comicsgate, guys. This is where it's all at. Everyone's talking Cyberfrog. Don't forget the little guys, because there's a lot.
And I know a couple other werewolf books in the works, which I just think is super awesome. I don't know if those were planned for a long time.
It's the age of the wolf. Remember, we were all vampires and bullshit, like, you know, back in the 2000s. Now we're gonna be all fucking werewolves. It's good.
Then there was that zombie craze for a long time. Now it's werewolves. Like I said, I don't know if they planned it, like they had these books already planned out, or if these books were inspired by all of the werewolf stuff happening. But
tell us a bit about them and drop some names.
Well, hold on. Vinny is waiting, and I was going to answer, or have whoever wanted to answer this question.
Sure.
With Hollywood getting all that money from China, is there a market for comics over there? I will say no, because they only like their comics. The government heavily censors what they have access to, what people have access to. Their publishers are very close knit, very tight, and you can sort of redistribute kind of through Viz and stuff, but it's tricky. It's a real mess. So I just no. Yeah,
it's just more hassle than it's worth.
Let me find that. Click it or whatever.
Vinny is here, my brother.
Now, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about the other werewolf books I know about, so I won't, because I'm going to let
Aren't we about breaking rules? Look, no one's here to be your dad. No one's here to stop you. We can do it, and you can drink too. No one's going to stop you. You can do whatever you want.
I spill the beans before the creators do. They'll never tell me secrets ever again.
This is true.
Well, I will say this: if I can finally get my time management to where it needs to be and finish what the project Piper and I are working on, I do have that werewolf geisha idea still in my head.
Oh yeah, that's just something I would love
to. And I promise I won't do that project without you.
It's hard because I need to start figuring out how to juggle other people's projects with my own projects, because I feel like if I don't finally start doing my stuff, I'm gonna not be as enthusiastic after a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you've got a bunch of stuff going on, so start doing it. Like, how far are you from being able to really develop Hail the Black Furies? So yeah, how far are you from being able to develop something that's entirely your own, other than Wings of the Falcon?
Pretty close. I actually I haven't picked a day, but my goal is to launch a campaign in August for my first book.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. What genre are you leaning into?
It's not necessarily my first story. So I will say my first fun book is gonna kind of be sci-fi and maybe a little manga-ish. But my first book. What happened here? There you go. Is going to be 100% all me. So art, writing, all that stuff, and kind of dipping my toe in. But also, it's a kind of a serious, touchy subject. So it's going to be really different. It's not going to be fun. It's more, I need to get this story off my chest. And it was the best way I found to do it, kind of thing.
As long as it's entertaining.
Yeah.
It'll be something.
You guys
it's one of those that, since it's all the only thing I'll lose is I invested my time. By the end of it, if it's not
that's
successful.
Your most valuable thing. That's your most valuable thing is your time, So.
But if it's something that's picking at your brain and you really have to get it out, then yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those are always the best stories.
Yeah, and you never know either. I mean, something you might think won't really click with people, it might actually click really well. You could be surprised by it.
Yeah. And everyone loves you, so you're gonna have people that are gonna give you a chance. That's the main thing.
You're all right, kid.
Yeah, that's exactly. If you don't take chances, you don't get anywhere. And you're going to get a lot of experience from doing Wings of the Falcon. You know, you're going to learn a lot of what you need to know. You're going to get into your groove, and you're going to be able to look at your project with sort of fresh eyes and go like, okay, is this something that's marketable? Is this something that I can do? What would I expect? Where are my margins? How much time it's going to take? That's the stuff you really need to know, and that comes purely from experience. So,
yeah, this with the Peregrine stuff, I'm learning a lot. That's especially going to help when I do the more fun one. I don't know. I guess I could just at least say the titles, right? So it's a little bit easier.
yes, please
So
do.
the first one is going to be called Trigger Warning. So it's kind of dark subject matter. But the next one is the sci-fi one is going to be Specimen Ayla. And it's going to be a lot more fun. It's going to be an adventure.
See, Specimen Ayla sounds interesting to me, and I don't even know what it is. See, it sounds like, well, obviously, like it's a young lady there's something more to it you know, so.
And it's one that if it does good, I really hope it will. It's one that I want to find an artist for. So working with, you know, I just don't draw in the style that I see this story in. So I'm gonna
I might have a couple of guys that, if you're looking, like, what style are you looking for? Like,
I'm looking for not 100% the manga look, but almost like a hybrid of the manga look / Western, typical Western comic look.
Yeah, no, that makes it a bit harder. It makes it a bit harder. For sure.
A fusion.
But
yeah, fusion.
Yeah.
I feel like it would work out either way.
Mhm.
But just when I see it in my head, you know, while I'm coming up with it, it's kind
well,
of
that's what you want. You want them to be able to capture your vision. You know what I mean? Like, you go and you think about stuff like Aeon Flux. I know that's a random thing to throw out, but a lot of its popularity largely came from its really distinct style. You look at things like Sam Keith's The Max. I'm MTV oddities in my brain. But, you know, you look at this stuff that has a distinguished style, and if you've already got a vision for what that is in your head, if you can get on the page, it's good. But finding an artist that's going to be able to do that will be a little bit harder. So,
well, there's no shortage of artists in Comicsgate, so that's at least a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, it's letters that we need more of.
Yeah, bring Insider. I tried to get him to come on and do shit with you earlier, but he was too busy and tired.
I will shoot you a link in just a second. I'm just looking at some of this stuff. More anime than DC animated, but kind of along those lines. Blade Devil is awesome, but it is too far into the big eyes, big hair. So actually, Xenotype is actually closer because the eyes.
I think that's what you mean. If you want like sort of one step away from a leader, more realism, I've got a guy that could probably.
Yeah. You
could probably test the waters with him, but. I sort of wanted to get him onto a book that I'm working on called Nightshade, which is sort of a Xenotype spin-off. I wanted to test him out on that to make sure that he was reliable with deadlines, but we need to make about another 10,000 before I can do anything with Nightshade. So
that's another thing that this first one that I'm doing all me is so that I don't have to pay anybody. So anything that comes back that is profit is going towards Specimen Ayla. Well, it's probably going towards fixing my life. And then it's going towards getting my shit together and then going towards Specimen Ayla. So there is a cushion there to get, you know, the first some odd pages done for people to show and all that good stuff. I have a plan. I think Specimen Ayla will probably end up being next year.
I like the title. I get excited about anything sort of even a little bit sort of sci-fi and manga-ish because like I was looking around at like Comicsgate books. I was like, what can I sort of cross over with? And it's like, okay, I can cross over with Blade Devil. I can probably cross over a bit with like Cyber Frog. But I'm like looking at stuff like Graveyard Shift, and I love it. I love Malin, but I'm like, I can't really cross over with Graveyard Shift. It doesn't really fit. Like, and I'm looking at a lot of the other manga properties as well that are sort of coming up at the moment. I'm like, I can't find stuff that's kind of.
Hey guys, I'll be back.
Yeah, sure. I can't find something that kind of fits so that I can sort of cross promote and build up others with myself. You know what I mean? So
this might actually work.
Yeah, City of the Dead. I'm excited. We actually spoke a fair bit about that a while ago. I like the fact that we've got the sort of flying fortresses in each one. Eric Weathers' Flying Fortress as well.
There's an
There's-
element I could tell you when we're not on air because it's kind of a spoiler. But there is a way that if you want, this could connect properly.
Yeah, well, definitely, for sure. That's something I want to coordinate with too, you know what I mean? Because this first project that I'm doing with Xenotype, it's just sort of the start. I've sort of planned everything out for the next 5 years. So the more stuff I can sort of attach myself to and build up, like we want to build this hype train up, and sort of we can't have an expanded universe because like we're small companies, right? But we can be like, oh, hey, we can do some promo art here and bolster stuff here, and you know, maybe if we get people really hyped and really investing, then we can do some crossover stuff, you know. And that's the stuff I want to do. I want to build up that momentum. So
yeah, that's definitely a smart thing, man. I think it will work. By the way, yeah, Hatch, thank you. I'm glad you love the book. But yeah, the sequel is going to be coming a little bit later in the year. I got the pirate book after this. After Through the Woods, which again, we got about 4 days left on this, on the hardcover, beautiful book. So yeah, we're getting closer and closer to 25K. That's the big goal, to unlock the Ash Can. It's going to have Kelsey Shannon's cover and a bunch of other great CGI.
Oh fuck! My bad. I was trying to figure out how to make you the big one, but
isn't it? It's just, it should be the white box that's in the corner when you're looking at us on the bottom. You know what I'm saying?
Did a box? Hold on.
A box. Like if literally like,
playing with your box.
Oh, okay. Right. On the I see it now.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
We do it like that.
Bingo. So that's a beautiful
your link in your DM, by the way. But now y'all can take a close look at.
I could drop it in. There you go. I dropped it in the private. So if you want to put it out there, that'd be cool. But yeah, this is the book. Again, this is 98 pages. This beautiful, beautiful book. I can't show too much because we get spoilers in here. But yeah, this is the 3-issue miniseries all collected together. So you get the entire story. I got like bonus stuff in here. Like, you can see some sketches and my layouts, things like that. I also have a cover gallery I put in this story as well. Like covers and pinups. I'm trying not to get too spoilery either, but yeah, there we go. This is issues, the covers for 2 and 3. But I also put Kelsey's piece in here because the Ash Can is going to be unlocked only for the backers who back by the 19th of this month. So yeah, that's the big thing. That's the goal. That's my thank you to the first 60-day backers. It's going to be the Ash Can. So it's a 20-page book. Everyone knows kind of the size of an Ash Can. Just to show you as well, the size of Through the Woods compared to a regular comic book.
I didn't realize that.
Dude, that's cool.
Yeah, I knew it was bigger, but I didn't realize that was the scope of how much bigger it was.
Oh, yeah.
You look at the numbers, but then you see it in real life. You're like, yeah, this is what's going to cost. You don't realize that's huge.
Yeah, that's why this pretty much everything is going into making these books and shipping them out. You know, I was looking at numbers today for my shipping. That's going to be a minimum of like $3,500. So that's what I'm saying. This is a lot that's going into this, and that's why I'm doing a very special format for everybody. You know, you can get the spine, you get everything in here.
Oh, Jimmy Senpai, your book is so big.
It is.
Yeah, so I just come in with these romantic music to set the mood.
Not romantic music. This is the chillax, bro.
Just so you know as well, the inside is we're going to be doing the drawings for the backers who got the $200 tier. So it's going to be in the inside of the book. So,
nice.
very cool. But yeah. So,
I gotta tell you, Vin, I was a little tired earlier, but then I saw you come on stream and I knew it was coming, so I got a little excited. Came back to life.
Yeah, get your ass in here. You're being tired on me, man.
Yeah, and don't forget too, I still have the art book is available. My first art book is going to be, I'm going to be closing that campaign soon. It's going to be at the end of the month. I might move it over to the City of Venus campaign in case, but yeah, just so everybody knows, I still have a lot of stuff available. These 2 books, they ship immediately, just so you know. Everything's printed in the United States. So yeah, there's no Corona on these. I might have to wipe it out with Clorox first, but they can take it. The nice
100% American, 100% American made. You know what I mean?
You know it, man. I did everything on these.
Just like
I drew them.
Get that poster off your wall. Show us that. Everyone's seen your book. I want to see your wall poster. Like, is that framed? Can you just behind you?
Yeah, it was kind of a pain in the ass to get back on though.
I know. I'm a pain. I'm sorry. You can leave it. I've never seen that art. I don't think. That's all.
It's the cover to issue 1.
It is. I'm a bad friend.
I know.
I don't recognize it at all.
It's this piece.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you don't even have to go on the wall. It's right here.
Fantastic. That's great.
So,
Awesome.
yeah, definitely. You guys are gonna love this thing. I was half asleep when I was on Ethan's stream today, so I wasn't able to push it too hard either, since it was about Cyberfrog. So I didn't want to. Sure. Yeah, I didn't want to step.
Yeah, we want him to do as well as he can. Don't trip up the quarterback. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. All right. You could share everybody else. This is getting weird just seeing me.
Especially with
Perth Comics. Perth Comics is giggling. He's looking at how handsome Vinny is, and he can't contain himself anymore.
Right, it happens.
I was thinking, definitely opening up the chat to questions. You've got writers, editors, artists, generally all of the above, and fans up in here.
Well, I'd like to ask you a question, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. What brought you into deciding to be the editor for Peregrine Wings of the Falcon?
I was already editing a couple other things, and that's funny. How I ended up on the project is pretty funny.
Yeah, we'd like to know that. That's been kind of a mystery. Got swept under during the big announcement.
Yeah, my graded buddies managed to keep that a secret from me.
You kept your involvement a secret from me. Ho, ho, ho.
It was Scott that ended up accidentally telling me about it. He thought I knew. Yeah, he thought I knew, so he started chatting with me about it, and I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And so, I went and asked the other guys. I was like, so I hear, you have this project. And they started, they get really excited to talk about it. So, they were telling me all about it. And then I did my usual, oh, well, you know what that story needs? A hot werewolf.
I thought you were going to say a boob window.
That came later. But it's the same thing I tell everybody about their comic. When they're promoting it and stuff, I'll be like, you know what your comic needs? A hot werewolf.
I'm sorry for laughing so hard, but there's a certain war campaign episode that'll explain the inside joke that door kicker Scott and I have. So
okay.
So what I want to know from people in the chat. This has been the topic of conversation for the last couple of days, and it might be a little bit controversial, but speak honestly. How important do you guys think TNA is to marketing of a property? Do you think that it is essential or a must? Because I've faced criticism that Xenotype doesn't have enough tits in it, right? So I want to know what people sort of think in regards to that, whether the customer really does like that sort of direction more, or if you are actually more interested in sort of stories that are more grounded in sort of, I don't know, more of a traditional format.
Well, I would say if you keep it classy, I think you need to find a proper balance. I think too much TNA could hurt a campaign. It could also make it look like what are you trying to actually sell here? Is there any story? If it's just TNA, then just do some kind of a pinup book instead. There is a fine line, but you need character design has to be properly with the story. So even City of Venus, I have a lot of hot chicks in there, but at the same time, it's like their aesthetic and everything. It works for the context of the story, right? It's their ripped up clothes. It's a post-apocalyptic future, so it kind of works. And I'm not trying to do specific like ass shots or anything like that. I'm just telling a story, right? And if it happens to be in there, it happens to be in there.
If an ass shot gets in there, an ass shot gets in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like in real life.
Very much agreed. It depends on the story.
Yeah. I'm not having a cry or anything. I'm just trying to
You heard it.
understand the whims of the audience, because it's been brought up twice now, and both times it was a joke. But as we know, there's a little bit of truth in every single joke. So I just wanted to know, like, what people are thinking, because I was sort of going for a sci-fi horror coming-of-age story. And so sex isn't a very big factor within Xenotype. It's not mentioned at all. It's very much a fight for survival and discovering the kind of person you're going to be. And so I just wanted to know from the chat. Some people are saying it depends on the book, but it never hurts. But yeah, it's because I'm very curious to know what everyone thinks. That's all.
Well,
my opinion is it definitely depends on the book or the story. If it's just there, it does kind of cheapen the story. If it's just there to be there, it kind of takes you away from the actual story. But
yeah, that's what I was worried about myself. Yeah.
My main thing is, if there's going to be chicks in it that are, chicks that are supposed to be important, you want people to pay attention to, just make them attractive. People are just going to care more in general about that character if she's a character they want to look at.
I agree.
But
it's no secret that Liam is my sensei. And through this, he's guided me through a lot of things. But behind the scenes, we've crossed swords a few times about some of my character designs. So,
yeah.
Oh no, the great one, Matanui. Okay, all right, I'll shut it off, Matanui. Don't rock the island.
I'd like to point out real quick. Back in the aughts, there was a webcomic called Genre Vu Point, which did kind of a Mount Olympus of cinema and genres. And there was one storyline where the 7 plagues of cinema, 2 of the plagues attacked at the same time. One was censorship, the other was gratuity. They each pick different genres to support them, like family film or comedy. But at the end, they both did damage. You've got to find what's right for the tone of the story.
Yeah, well, that's what I was trying to sort of do as Xenotype. I was trying to present it as a more serious. Not that there's anything wrong with like I'm not a Puritan. You know what I mean? Like, you guys have heard me joke around, but like I was trying to do something that would keep the audience sort of grounded within the story and focused in the suspense. Like, I felt like if people were like, suddenly like there's people are running for their life, in this fight for survival, and then it's panty shots and people are trying to count the threads in their panty count. You know what I mean? Like, I figured it would take away from their experience as a reader. But it's just I'm a pro writer. I've been doing this for over 14 years. I know what I'm doing, but marketing is new to me. So when this was something that was raised, I'm thinking for future campaigns, for other people, like, how much of a factor is it for everyone? And it's just something I think maybe we should talk about a little bit, because I'm not shaming it. I'm not throwing shade on it. I'm not saying I'll never do it. I just want to know what people want.
It's a very good question. I think even from a marketing standpoint, you still market your book for what it is. So, if your main character is sexy and that happens to be a part of her, for marketing, sure, exploit the hell out of that. But if you got handsome dudes, do that too. Oops. But yours is, it's about fighting, and it's got its own cool stuff, basically.
You definitely have something that people are gonna want. That's why your numbers were moving. You know what I mean? Because coming out of the gate, first book, a lot of people just don't normally, knock it out of the park. I mean, you'll have someone like Raging Golden Eagle. You'll have other people that do have a great start. Yours is very unique for that reason as well. I mean, you hit something that's for the manga fans and for everyone else. You kind of hit a fine balance. And I think, honestly, it's the only thing that's kind of why it's not. I don't think the numbers are even bigger than what they are or doubled or anything. I think people, when it comes down to the shipping and those kind of prices, I think it confused a lot of people because of, you know, the
Australian dollar.
$20, yeah. Because even at first, like when I got it, I was like, yeah, wait a minute, what's the price on this? And you know, like it's not until you get to the end where you're able to see it properly. But
yeah, that's a real. It sort of sucks, and there's no way that I could change it either. I then hit up Indiegogo, and I was like, "Can I change this somehow? Can I use an American bank account? Can I do whatever?" And they're like, "No, you have to use it through your your native country where you're producing and shipping the book from." So I was like,
but you know, yeah. That being said, like it wasn't a shot or anything. It's
no,
really,
I know. I'm just trying to explain it for the people listening to know what's going on as well. So
right.
I think there's just some bad timing with Critias coming out and doing his thing.
Yeah.
Everything that was running at the time, that we all kind of knew that he wasn't going to do that. But when he came out and basically flat out made an ass of himself about it, then everybody's current campaign was being put under the microscope. And that really, really did suck for, and it still does. There's lingering effects still.
People get a little bit of cold feet.
On the one hand, it's a learning experience. Future campaigns know what they probably need to do to reassure, you know.
Yeah. Well, that was the reason that I had it. That's the reason that I had a 25,000 minimum from my campaign, because I had looked extensively into what needed to be done. I knew the numbers that were necessary. I knew what it was going to take to pay my team and everything. And you know, that's realistically what it takes to produce a comic book, guys. If you don't think that you can do it for $3,000, you probably cannot. Don't try and print it on your home printer. People aren't going to be happy with the quality.
Or write the address right on the back of the book.
Exactly.
That stuff shouldn't have been a learning experience. That should have been common goddamn sense. But apparently, it was a lesson that needed learned.
Well, you know, it's now etched in stone. It is of the commandments of Comicsgate. People need to know it now. You know, never assume common sense. Like, I forget to share links and stuff. Never assume common sense.
Well, it happens. Most of us are sleep deprived on top of it. And we're just pushing nonstop. But the thing that's good is Xenotype, that it did hit its goal. So I mean, that's a beautiful thing. The other thing I love about Liam is his updates. They're so informative. You know, he's got the page count, like how many pages are done now, and it's amazing. I mean, this book, it's gonna be done. It's gonna get into everybody's hands. That's the cool thing.
There's always something poignant about the update too. It's not just page count. There's always like, here's a little bit about this little update we have.
Of course. That's what I mean. It's very informative. I was given some of the other details, but yeah, no, your updates are always fantastic. Whenever I see them, like I know what's going on. You know, I'm telling other people about it. It's a good thing.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Thanks. You know, I'm trying to be competitive and sharp, because I'm doing phenomenal. I'm doing fantastic. I funded everything after this is profit, but because I front loaded the campaign because people wanted 2 versions of the book at launch, right? I can't really do much. I can't really do many stretch goals until I make a little bit more money. So I'm kind of trying to push people into funding now instead of waiting till later, so that I can sort of unveil a lot of the really cool stuff that like I've already paid for and is done, but I can't really justify within the budget until we get further along. You know what I mean?
Right. So, and that's part of what we've discussed in the past as well, is that's the thing between having a finished product and something that's almost done, where there's still a little bit of time where you could tack on other things. Like I keep falling in the position where I push a little extra hard, especially towards the end, because I'm ready to go to print right away on these. So I can't really keep it open and then go, all right, if we hit a stretch goal, that's another couple thousand. Because if I do that, my early backers are going to miss out on it because like they've already been fulfilled. You know what I mean?
Aren't you kidding?
Huh?
Oh, sorry. I thought I muted my mic. I was getting after my kids. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, it's all right. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, because obviously I have a proof copy sitting right here. So any other add-ons and stuff, I'm trying to do it like when I hit 25K, and that's why the cutoff is the 19th. Because I'm as soon as they release my money, I'm going to print on it. So I mean, there might be 1 or 2 days after that, but the 19th is a cutoff where if we hit that 25K, only those people from day one up until March 19th are going to be getting the ash can. Everyone else, they're not going to get it. You know, that's why it's my thank you to those the first 60-day backers. And that's what I want it to be about. But that's why to add on a surprise gift that no one knows what it is yet. And you're going to get it and you're going to see it when you open up your mail. I want to do a cool surprise for people. It's my way of saying thank you again, you know, because we already have the bookmark. Because of you guys, we upgraded to this beautiful size, this beautiful format. I mean, most people don't normally get a hardcover unless they hit like 6 figures or something, you know?
Exactly. It's a big burden, and that's like, just so you guys know, like Vinny, by giving you guys a hardcover, like that thing's shiny, it's beautiful, it'll last longer, it'll hold the book together better, but it also really knocks up his shipping. So he could have not done it and potentially walked away with a greater profit margin for himself, but because he's trying to produce a quality product that will gain value for you in the future and something that you can really enjoy, he made that sacrifice to give you better quality. You know what I mean? So just keep that in mind when you're looking at what he's doing.
Yeah, because I've said it in the past, if I made it soft cover, yeah, I'd be able to pocket a lot more, but I'm not, because you guys asked for this book. I wasn't going to be launching this. It's because everyone kept messaging me, what's this Through the Woods? I missed out on it. I want to get it. So I said, all right, guys, you guys are going to get a beautiful book out of this. And I'm really proud of what went into this. I touched up some of the artwork, other things that, because I'm a perfectionist. So if I saw something that wasn't really working too well or needed to be tweaked, I did it. It went through a whole new editing process. So this is the definitive way to get this book, to get this beautiful story. And yeah, I mean, the people who did get the original one, they praised it like crazy, including like Professor Geek. So this is a quality project through and through, If
you're new to Comicsgate, Vinny is the model creator right now. He is really out there showing how it's done. There are the creators doing the same thing, but Vinny is unabashedly telling you that he loves you for the help that you've given him and the inspiration you've delivered to him and his brother to continue going on in creating comics above and beyond, and perhaps sequels to this story or spin-offs.
Absolutely.
And as far as I know, he has the highest rate of fulfillment. And I have never seen a single backer complain about any of Vinny's projects. So
100%.
That should be a testament to he has quality, he has content, he has quantity, and he has a 5-star record with the fans. So Vinny is an absolute legend.
Thank you, guys. And that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the first year, 7 books I fulfilled. I had to go
Vinny
and pocket
the freight train of Comicsgate.
Yeah, I'm a locomotive. But yeah, and these projects, like you guys said too, there's going to be sequels. City of Venus, I'm doing the sequel later in the year after my pirate book. I have a little preview. You at least get one beautiful shot of the pirate book. So I mean, it's no joke. It's coming, and it's going to be gorgeous. You guys are going to really, really dig
I love
this.
the way you draw and color the wood on the ships. It looks really rich and phenomenal. It really does. It's like they're carvings almost. It's great.
Yeah. And that's the thing, man. I'm trying to bring really, really high quality to these comics. Cause I mean, I've been a portrait artist for a long time, but I've done comics, I've done concept artwork. I just kind of try to mix everything into what I'm doing. So I have the fun of a comic book, but some elements are going to look a little more realistic, or set in kind of a real world approach. I try to bring logic and stuff. I mean, obviously things are going to be over the top, like in City of Venus. This book is very over the top. There's explosions all over the place. Really knee pads. Beautiful locations and great shots. But because I want every page to be something unique, something special. You're looking at it and you're like, oh my God, I'm happy I spent the money on this. Not just for the quality, but look at the artwork, look at the story.
Look at that sheen. Look at the shine of your monitor in that. You can fix your hair in the morning with the reflect. Wow, even on the back.
That's how I shave.
I'm sorry, it takes my words away. It's so stunning. Great job.
Thank you. That's what I mean. Yeah, and again, even the printer. I found this printer and I told a lot of people about it. I just said, Adam Post is going crazy about it. And I said, just give me a second until I get my proof copy. And when that happened, last year, whatever, I'm like, dude, yeah, now we could we could explode everywhere, let everyone know about it. Because I've never seen books done like this. And I chose the highest grade paper. I mean, you could see the thickness. This is the cover itself. You know, it's
and
like
that's the thing about Comicscape products as well. It started, as far as I know, with John Malin. So credit to him there. There's the quality level of these books compared to the stuff coming out of the big two is absolutely phenomenal. Like there are. What's that noise? Is that me?
I don't know what that is.
Hello? Okay, so yeah, no, it's absolutely phenomenal. Like if you can get a graphic novel and from Marvel or DC, and you can get a Comicscape book, you can get City of Venus, and you'll sit it together, and wow, I sound like a Charlie Brown parent.
Are we being invaded by the Daleks?
Yeah, what is going on?
I don't know.
Exterminate.
Is this cider?
I'm sorry, guys. So the feedback. It's not me.
Did you disappear? I think
Hello?
she did disappear.
I don't know what's going on.
Hello?
I think we're adrift, boys.
Now I feel like I'm on The Price is Right or something. We get this beautiful project here.
Well, it's all you, man. It's centered on you.
It's Piper. It's all good. She'll be back. So, if you look at the quality of these Comicscape books, right? You look at these here next to like at the stuff that's coming out of the graphic novels that are coming out of Marvel and DC, and it's bad.
Okay, well, if you take a look at this comic,
Okay,
you're
I'm
gonna
sorry.
see plot-driven ass shots.
I think it's Seth. I don't think he's wearing headphones. So I think the sound is coming from Seth's.
Okay. Well, welcome back, Piper.
If you back it up, we'll see, because I think when you see the sound, like the picture will be.
So like I was saying, the quality is just amazing. They're not printing at the same grade of paper to the same level of production. It's a completely different animal. These are premium collector's items. And remember that this is just the beginning, right? This isn't like the speculator market within the 90s where it's going to burst. This isn't like Image where they're printing 1 million copies and they're going, you're going to have a rare collectible one day. These people are doing runs that are like 500, 1,000 issues. You know, the big guys are doing 2,000 at most. You know, like these are small runs in the grand scale of things. And that means that they're going to build in value. So investing in these now, especially in properties that you think have potential to turn into something larger, like Netflix, like film. Again, I'll use examples like Through the Woods is a fantastic example that has legs, and it will probably become a cross-media property, a multimedia franchise. Now, this is the stuff that you will have that will go up in value. Not only that, but they're usually signed by the creators. Vinny, you're signing Through the Woods, right? Yep. So you're going to have it signed. You're going to have a piece of Comicsgate history and potentially a piece of film history. So get on board.
Yeah, it's funny you said that, because I might actually have a good connection to it or not. And that's why I did these very cinematic, like the entire story. Because some of my background is like I've done some storyboarding for different projects and things in Hollywood as well. So I kind of know what they're looking for on a certain level. But yeah, you're right. The storytelling element, I think we did it. We set it up. We paced it properly so that it would fit perfectly for a film or television series, something, you know. It's a good thing, though.
What's Piper doing? She's up to mischief. What are you doing, Piper?
Piping.
Oh no. So Terry, when you say
There we
here we go, dude. Wow. Vinny, pardon me all to hell. When you say you have like a connection, was it an idea all along to kind of move this forward, or was this a story you wanted to tell in a comic book motif, and then later on you changed your mind and moved it into kind of a Netflix ready comic book?
No, this was always the way that I envisioned it. It was supposed to be very cinematic. I didn't change anything to fit any specific, like to get a movie deal or anything. I didn't do it for that. I just wanted to tell a really good story. That's what I approach everything with, that same mindset. I just want good storytelling in the writing, in the artwork. It all has to flow a certain way, because I've always been a fan of that type of art. I always lean more towards European formats, European stories, rather than, wow, she turned into a wolf. Sorry.
She does that a lot.
But
You saw it here first. You saw it here first. Lycanthropy confirmed.
yeah, like I used to like a lot of stuff back in the day, but then as the stories were getting shittier and shittier, the European market, I always dug like what they were doing, certain stories, and
Well, you didn't go the Deadbeats route and try to make it scene for scene a Netflix ready book. I really appreciate that you integrated like some cinematography styling to your panel work.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
really something that a lot of artists kind of skip out and dip out on sometimes. Yeah. I'm not criticizing the artist necessarily. I just think there should be more risk taking with perspective. And Simon Poitier is a guy to go to if you want to really like master that. Simon's really like the master of it in Comicsgate right now. In my opinion, anyway.
Simon is another guy that is sorely overlooked, and he's a shooting star. You watch him, he's rising, he's going somewhere.
Yeah, and he's a workhorse. I keep saying it. It's me and Simon. We've been doing the most projects, I think, out of Comicsgate, like hands down.
The man is a machine.
Yep.
A machine.
Yeah, he just recently did sketch cards for Michael Beacon's Seven Legions.
Yeah.
Wow, he's always working, isn't he?
He really is.
I think he's done sketch cards for everyone. And yeah, he even did a piece that's going to be in the ash can of my book. So
fantastic.
Him, Joe Ball, Canales, who's in chat. I salute you too, brother. Yeah, anyone who was in that war campaign stream who drew my characters, this is like my thank you to them as well.
That's a who's who of ink slinging badasses.
Pretty much, man. That's what I'm saying. And yeah, going back for a minute too, how you said like the cinematography and you know, composition and all that. I mean, I've always been a fan of film, Sergio Leone, you know, stuff like that. So I'm always pushing the envelope on where I'm going as well and how I'm framing up a page. But it has to make sense. I mean, there's certain things I want to show you in this book that I can't because I'm going to spoil a lot of it. But there's certain elements of like kind of what went down, murders and things like that. The way that I did those layouts, I mean, it's like jaw dropping. You'd be like, holy shit, that was really cool. There's an element that I do in here, even through the coloring, where I start like the flashbacks are like 100 years in the past. And when I do that, I go into sepia. But there's a certain element I wanted to get across properly, where I go from sepia slowly into color. So by the time you see like the really pivotal part of the story, it's like the viewer was completely pulled into like this photograph that they were looking at, and they're there, right? Like I did that, something I've never seen done before. It's either one or the other, right? It's either black and white or it's sepia and then color, and that's just how they do it. But yeah, I think I did it in a different way, and everyone who's read it were like, "Holy shit! How did you do that? What did you do? What even make you think of that?" But I'm always trying to change things to lift that bar. You know,
you're innovating. You're an innovator. You're challenging the convention. You're doing things your own way. You're forging your own path. You're taking the good from what came before and innovating new, creative, exciting opportunities for new experiences. As you said at the beginning of the stream, new entertainment for the reader, so that they're getting something from it. And I noticed that in your work, and I have a great deal of respect for it. And I think it's something you'll be remembered for.
I appreciate that, brother.
I was going to say to Liam, this is the kind of artist we look for when we go out trying to tell our stories. We're trying to, and listen, if it's artists out there in the chat that you're listening, be like Vinny. Take these huge risks. Take these big ideas you have in your head and figure out how to make them work in single panels. Push the envelope with the colors. Push the envelope with your perspectives. Because for writers like us, like Liam and I, that really want to be able to show off what a character can do, we will give you work to show off these talents and give you this opportunity to be paid to experiment, to take these risks.
Exactly.
Together,
like
I'm so
we always go back to we always end up going back to Todd McFarlane, but let's go to Todd McFarlane. Here was Spider-Man. It was a solid recipe. They knew the way he looked. He was on all their merch, all their shirts. They knew that they had established what Spider-Man looked like and what he was. And in comes Todd, and he's not even that great at drawing at the beginning. Like he's faking a lot of stuff. This is his own words. I'm not taking a shot at him. Like he's faking a lot of stuff, but he's sort of got that go get him attitude. He's out there doing his own thing. Then he decides, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do it my way. and then he reinvents Spider-Man, right? The entire visual aesthetic of Spider-Man. And the old fuddy-duddies that were running the place there, they were like, no, like, don't do that. He's meant to look exactly like this. He's meant to have this. What is the deal with these giant eyes and this spaghetti webbing? And it was actually his editor that threw that out at him, you know? He said spaghetti webbing. He didn't have a name for it. He's like, yeah, I'll take that, spaghetti webbing. But he stuck with it. He stuck through it, and it blew up. And because he experimented and took that risk, people went, oh, that's something new. And now we have this definitive art style that is shaped how many other artists that followed it since McFarlane, you know? And he created an iconic style. So if you as an artist have an iconic style, we don't want people that can just clone manga and anime pictures and everything just looks like a knockoff of Naruto. We want something that looks like your work. So find your style and be your own artist.
Yeah, the cookie cutter shit, I think that's it's long gone, because like even when I was first like looking for some work, you know, when I was like 19, 20, whatever, when I was looking at all that stuff, and every convention I went to, it's, oh, you don't draw like Jim Lee, oh, you don't draw like so and so. Yeah, you know, it's like, why should we have to draw like those people? Like, it's so stupid. Their quote unquote house style, it's bullshit. You know, keep going down that road, it's going to keep getting watered down. It's going to turn into shit. You got to keep changing things. I worked for Todd, but I did his style, you know, and he appreciated what I brought to the table because I was doing something different, because I was pushing it even further. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's a place. There's always a place for these classic styles. I'm not saying that they should disappear entirely, but if you're an artist looking to make this a professional career, you need to be like Vinny Tartamella. You need to challenge convention. You need to deliver on time. You need to follow through. You need to be your truest self as a creative. Right? That doesn't mean be a diva, but that does mean find something so that when someone looks at that, they can go, Vinny drew that, Todd drew that. Ethan drew that. Unless you have that, you're not there yet. Yeah.
And never boast yourself to those levels, like what they're doing. I mean, you've seen it with the writers and the artists that are on Twitter. Like they think of themselves like some kind of gods. You're not.
You're not.
You get up the same every morning. You do what everyone else has to do. There's nothing special. You have a gift. You have a talent. Cool. Anyone who meets me, it's how I'm talking on stream is how I am in person. I mean, people compliment me. A lot of times it was hard for me to take compliments because I'm not used to it. I know what I have to get done. I want to get things done. It's for myself. It's to make other people happy, and that's my goal. I'm not looking to be like, oh yeah, I'm the hottest shit. Never. You'll never catch me doing that.
Yeah. For sure. But we've got to have that. We've got to be the Living Legends page. We've got to reach out to our fans. We've got to open our hearts to them. You're not a god. You're not a rock star. You're not a celebrity. You're not Elvis. You're a dude who draws comic books. Exactly. And a lot of people will sort of throw that at Ethan like an attack. But, you know, you've got to realize there's a level of irony behind what he does and says. He's a family man. He knows what he's doing. And even when he's winning, he's taking the time to read the super chats, to make fun of himself, to reach out to people. That's the model that we need to follow. We are human. We are from the fans, for the fans. That's what Comicsgate is. You're not better than anyone else. You're not better than anyone else. You're just doing the job that they go and they lay bricks for 8 hours a day. And you write or draw pictures so that they don't have to do that. And while they're laying bricks, you don't have to. And while you're drawing the book, they don't have to. You know what I mean? That's what this is.
And when they're done with their job, they want to go home and they want to read fun, cool shit to escape what they've been doing all day, to get that freedom to relax. And we're bringing them cool stories. We're bringing them new worlds. That's the cool thing about it. You know, and it's the same thing like Ethan, what he's been doing. It's also, obviously, it is like a persona too. We take shots at one another. Could you imagine if I was like Mark Waid and they called me the Boner King? I'd be flipping tables. Why are you making fun of me? You know, it's not even that. And then it turns
to me, my boners, you would shout. To me, my boners, as you marched your fans against them.
And then what happens? It turns into like a respect thing. Like when people see, oh, hail Boner King, and dude, we love your work. It turns into these great compliments. Yeah, you could take shots. I mean, be an adult. What we're doing is supposed to be fun. And if it's not fun, then get the fuck out.
Exactly. The industry should be fun. And what I really like about what Comicsgate is doing, by turning to YouTube until YouTube craps out completely, is you get to know all the people working on the book. Whereas at the big publishers, you know that DC published this and these people's names are on the book. But with Comic Gate books, you go, man, I chilled with the writer of that one. I got some tips from the artist of that one. You know, like that, you know, that person's funny as hell.
It's the con it's the con where the Living Letters page, it's the convention scene, but it's here, you know, like imagine if you didn't have to drive to San Diego to stand in line and then stand next to a celebrity for your favorite superhero writer or artist for 5 minutes while they snap a photo and then they march you off without making eye contact. What if you could call them a fat pie man in the chat and they would laugh with you? You know?
Exactly.
And you don't have to get off your ass, and you can be sitting at home in your underwear gorging on pie yourself, unironically. You know, like it's.
I mean, what's great too is you could be drawing art for whatever you're working on while talking. You could do that, and that's just even cooler. Even if you're not showing it, it's, you know, if they know, well, that's cool, they're working on their book right now, I'm gonna mess them up by being funny as hell.
Because no one cares about a name on the book if that's all it is, just letters on a page. They want a face, they want personality. That's why everybody loved seeing Stan Lee's name on Marvel DC. I don't care about the name on the page because that's just some letters. I don't know who that is. You know?
The average person does not know who these people are anymore. We had a big celebrity boom in the 90s. Everyone got really big. Those are the names we sort of know, like the 80s and the 90s names. A lot of these guys that are coming up, not only do they not have the chops, they don't have the talent, but they're also, no one knows who they are. They get their last name on the front of a book, and everyone thinks, oh, they're something special. But no one knows who these guys are. No one cares. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But with Comicsgate,
open doors.
The personal touch that we have.
That's the other reason Comicsgate was needed, was it was getting to the point where all those writers, and generally it was the writers. I didn't have as many problems with artists, I don't think. For those big publishers, just decided on their own that they're the shit. They're above everybody else, and they're above their fans in this and that. And that hurt them. That hurt them bad because they decided that they were big celebrity level. So not only that he's still distant and not that available despite social media, but they use social media.
Conventions screwed everyone. I'm going to tell you the honest truth. Like, conventions started out, if you go back through the history of conventions, this could be a whole stream on itself. You go back to the history of conventions, the early days, like the early sci-fi writers, you know, like the pulp stuff that used to come through, early comic conventions, early Star Trek conventions. You'll find out that, like, this wasn't a big mass market to make $1 million. This was a fan gathering, and it used to be something that they did to basically knit together fan clubs from all over the world and to sort of keep their diehard base going. But in the current market, things have gotten so big that everyone immediately thinks they're rock star celebrities, and they're walking out in front of a crowd of 1,000 million people that are all buying their book. And they're going, well, these people are here for me, and they've gotten conflated. They haven't realized that these people are there they're there for the X-Men. They're there for Spider-Man. They don't actually give a shit who's up on stage. But these people are thinking, look at what I command, look at what I can do. And they're only there because of nepotism, because of backroom hand jobs, because of drug deals, and because they suck up to the right people, right? It's corrupt, it's fucked up, and the only way to combat it is to get back to those early days where we're just setting up and getting to know people. We get to know Joe Nobody. We get to know Hatch. We get to know Uncle Cucky, you know, the lovable Uncle Cucky, you know. We get to build these relationships with these people.
Like, your fans aren't your fans, or at least, you know, everybody I've interacted with that already has something under their belt, big or small. Their fans aren't necessarily their fans. Their fans are their friends they haven't met in person yet, like their internet friends. That's how you feel when you interact with Comicsgate creators.
Yeah. And it's that thing too. It sticks. It really does. Like when I first met Stan Lee, I was in high school, and it was around the time too that Marvel was going down the shitter, and he was leaving, right? And there was like the little lawsuit. People seem to forget this time. They fell off the stock market, all that stuff. And when I showed him my work, like he really encouraged me a lot, but like on a personal level, he had a line out the door. It didn't matter. He stopped and he was giving me his time. I didn't ask to get anything signed. I just wanted to meet him and show him my work. And he sat there and he was flipping through pages. He goes, wow, and you're in high school and you're doing this quality of work? This is amazing. He goes, but I'm going to tell you right now, don't waste your time at Marvel. He goes, go to the other guys. He goes, they're looking bad here, and I think they're going to close up. Like, he's giving me the lowdown, like, you know, like, we just met. And he's like, but really, like, he grabbed me. He's like, continue doing what you're doing. This is amazing stuff. And then years later, one of the last times that I saw him, he bought original artwork from me. You know?
Wow. That's huge,
a cool
man.
Thing. It's gigantic, you know?
Congratulations.
Thanks, man. But
That's cool.
it's like one of those things. It sticks with you because, you know, he was very personal. He wasn't trying to sell me on anything. He wasn't trying to kiss his own ass. He was supporting somebody that he thinks has the chops to do this. You know,
and he thought had talent, and that's the thing too. Everyone talks about. I think it's interesting the revisionist history of Stan, because everyone talks about Stan now like he's this great, lovable uncle. Everyone thinks he's so great, but if you actually go back and look into the history of Stan Lee, you will find that, like a certain Frogman, he was very unpopular. He was very unpopular. He had very loud critics. And he was going, we have to listen to the fans, and our fans have rights, and the House of Ideas puts its fans first, and we're going to have superheroes that are about people, and we're going to have stories that are about people, and like, this is who Stan was. And, you know, and when he got his success, he's burning dollar bills while he lights his cigar with them, you know, and he's infuriating people with his success because they wanted this guy to fail, but he stuck it out longer than anyone else. When everyone else got moved on, he stuck on and he built something from nothing, and we're doing the same thing now. That's the spirit of Comicsgate. That's the spirit of comics. You're going to be hated right now, but we are the kings of tomorrow.
Absolutely. And don't forget, too, Stan was a big wise ass. He would he would people's skin, but he would do it in that fun, lovable way. That's the one thing I always loved about it. If everyone ever saw when that video when he's got Todd and Rob Liefeld, and they're doing Overkill, and they're doing this, and he's just breaking their balls left and right. But he's doing it logically, though. He's like, how would that guy run? Look how big he is. Or, like, you know, wouldn't he trip on those chains? Like, you know, he'd slap him in the face, but also give him logic at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's part of the job of the editor that no one really wants to talk about, you know? Like, they always make fun of him when he comes through. There's this old story of Stan Lee, I'm sure everyone's heard it, where he sort of came through and he said, where's Iron Man's nose? How's he supposed to breathe? There is Iron Man's nose. And so they drew Iron Man's nose on, and everyone bitched about drawing Iron Man's nose. But it's like, when you think about it, hey, yeah, maybe where's Iron Man's nose? Maybe design the helmet. You don't have to draw an actual fucking nose on him like Dr. Doom if you don't want to. But maybe just design the helmet a little bit better. Like, and you look at modern Iron Man today, there's space for his nose. It accommodates the shape of his skull.
It is true. Old school Iron Man did kind of look like it was just.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and that's the thing too. It's like approaching things with that kind of logic or that kind of mindset. Yeah, it's going to change stuff. It's going to make it a little more real and tangible. You know what I mean? It's. Mm-hmm. It seems like it's such common sense when you stop and think about it, but yeah, I mean, it's also almost genius as well, because a lot of people want to just suspend that disbelief all the way, or, oh, it's just a comic book, you do whatever you want. Try to put a little more thought into it. It's going to make more sense. Like Xenotype, exactly. He's got the costume alone, it's designed, everything's very specific. I remember when you were telling us about like the spikes coming off of like the shin calf area. It's you know. for when he's making these giant leaps when he lands. It's like shock.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It goes through his foot. Like you see those black things on his calves, like they're essentially shock absorption so that he can leap off buildings and it won't break his legs.
Right.
You know, like his body has ablative armor in it. Like each of those gems that you see are located in a specific location and in a specific position, you know, on his body because they do certain things. You see the things on the back of his hands for his telekinetic whips. His eyes are actually covered by protective lenses so that he doesn't get dust or debris in them when he's cutting through the air. His helmet is designed to be aerodynamic so that, again, it can keep him moving quickly and moving fast. Everything is very purposefully designed. Like the guards on the back of his arm are so that he can block knives and other things without damaging his arms. Like everything is very intentional.
It's well thought out, you know, and it makes sense.
Oh, okay. It's Thin Mints. I was like, what the hell just happened? And what is this?
Thanks for
that's what made that one traced art that ended up in a Marvel comic of Iron Man so bad. And you know, where they traced over that old guy having the heart attack stock photo.
Oh,
there was none of that logic to that picture.
Wow. It goes to show you, man, the house of stolen ideas is what it turned into.
Whoopsies. The whole house of stolen ideas. You're a clever guy, Vinny.
Well, look what they did to Kyle in Starblades.
I mean, look at. Then again, man, look at the X-Men. The X-Men were literally just were extrapolated upon from Doom Patrol, right? You go back into it, you find out Doom Patrol is where the idea for X-Men came from, you know?
Oh, wow.
But I mean, but from the top, right? I mean, look at Joe Quesada as he was editor-in-chief. He traced over my artwork. You know, that's supposed to be someone who's the editor-in-chief instead of giving me the job. I
gotta tell you, every time that I hear that story, Vinny, it just makes me want to punch a wall. It is just the most ignorant and grotesque thing I have ever heard a professional ever do.
And on top of it, like I think the cherry on top of all that is that Joe Kubert gave him the fucking samples and said, "You got to hire this kid." And instead of hiring me, he traced my fucking work.
Yeah, he trolls around over people's DeviantArts and stuff and finds stuff that he likes, and then he just traces it. It's absolute. This is the worst bit of Quesada, right, man? The man is not an unskilled artist. He might be a complete hack of a boss. He might be a complete dropkick of a human being. He might be a sad, pathetic, weird little man. But he's not a bad artist. And the fact that he is being so fucking lazy that rather than just using a bit of time to innovate or create something worthwhile to build upon his existing legacy, he rests on his laurels and exploits the talent of others is unforgivable. And he should be named and shamed for what he's done to you, Vinny, and to what he's done to other people we both know. I'm glad that he is on his way out. He deserves the boot.
Yep. And they would have dropped him sooner, but the thing is, it's for the shareholders, you know, stocks and all that crap. If they just clip him, it would look like they're hurting, right? So that's why when they demoted him, they promoted Kevin Feige from the movie side of things. So people will look at that good news and ignore what happened to that sack of shit, and they're going to continuously do that. They're going to keep dropping him until they like, all right, no one cares, and boom.
And then guess where he's going to be? He's going to be, hey, Ethan. Remember when we used to be buddies, Ethan? Yeah. Remember when we were friends, Ethan? We want a truce.
I think he's going to go through Billy Tucci because they have more of a closer bond. He'll go through that route because that's how those snakes operate.
All right, guys, I gotta go. If I'm gonna have a downstairs still if the kids are tearing apart. Piper, thanks for having me on. Sorry about the technical glitches and the smoke alarm.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming on, Seth. It was good meeting you.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry if we talk too much.
Oh no, that's all right. I have trouble discerning when to jump into a conversation, when not to. It's part of the whole ADHD thing, but I've got to learn how to do that normal conversation in real life. And streaming kind of helps because that mute button's there. Piper can stop me while I'm going to drone on.
I have the same
Ah.
problem, man. I have the same thing. You know, it's hard knowing when you're meant to say something and shut up. Don't stress about it. You're a good dude. You're a good dude. I'm glad
awesome.
you came.
Good night, y'all.
Cool, man.
Good.
Good night, sir.
Okay.
I would
Yeah.
say, I think we're competing against Work Campaign or Ethan or both. I'm not sure.
They're both
Ethan's
right now.
Ethan's over on War Campaign probably.
Okay,
being
so
on
they're
the
both
side
on the.
of there,
That's
but-
what I thought. But I
Right.
figured one last round, kind of
Promotion.
yeah. I'm so good at this, you guys.
One more round of Thin Mints.
But I mean, this is a good thing too, because here we get to have a smaller chat where we can directly interact with a lot of the guys. The War Campaign stream, it's going to be going like 1,000,000 miles an hour, and they're all going to be stuff. So we get to just sort of be
And
here
it's on
and
D
people can
Live,
watch
so
stuff.
it's full of gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not really like we're competing. Humble us cannot really compete. We just
I think the small ones are just as important as the big ones.
I think that they're more important than the big ones. I think that Comicsgate got as big as it did because when back in the day when we were all in Ethan's stream and everything like that, and in Zach's streams, it was just we all knew each other and we were smaller. It's like the smaller cons. You get everyone knows each other and then they expand and then their friends become friends of friends. And when it gets really big, like Ethan can't keep up with everyone. He can only read super chats now. He can only occasionally get stuff from the chat because he's just bombarded.
Right.
So stuff like this, where we get to interact with Arik and the beloved Uncle Cucky and Matter, of course, like these guys get to be heard. I think that's very important for what we do.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
I'd also like to point out, I didn't get a chance to earlier. We moved on pretty quick, but I'd like to point out too that Piper is an editor right now on a couple of books, and she's looking into, or if not already producing, books for the future, her own campaigns in the future. This is representative of how Comicsgate works. What one person is doing for their campaign, there is assistance in another person's growing into making their own campaign. There's a synergy. Everyone is pushing forward, headed toward the next great peak, the next great challenge. And then we come together again to meet it and come apart again to come our own, I don't know, creations. So I just really want to celebrate your entrance into this officially, Piper, out here in the open
cool.
of
Thank
being a creator / editor / whatever people need to be in between, like voice actor. I know that was something you had talked about. So
Yeah,
it's
I keep
nice
on
to
forgetting.
have,
I tell people that if they want a chick or young kid voice in any of their like trailers, promo things, that
well, I'm told I sound like a grandma that does like a 10-pack a day thing. So, you know,
those are always useful.
yeah.
But
again, this is what
young
Comicsgate
kid
has to offer. It is a gigantic network of people that have a varied skill set that maybe didn't have any traction in one particular zone, but now as this giant network, there's people that can help you with trailers. There's people that can put together theme songs.
Cider is fucking amazing at trailers and stuff, which I have no video editing skill. I have no real music skill, you know, like that's not what I'm gifted at. And Cider comes along and he finds this amazing, like copyright free music. He finds these great trailers that he puts together these great trailers.
Too.
Yeah, you know, it's really
I
awesome.
hate video editing. So I'm like, I'm already planned ahead. Like I'm going to ask Cider to work with him on this and this and this. Cause I can't video edit. That's one thing I cannot edit.
There's Cider, Red Gaze, Ted Zagaro. I mean, a lot of great people. That's what I'm saying too. They're familiar faces we're seeing, you know, on Twitter or on the chat, and they're reaching out. We're communicating back and forth, and they're helping us out. We're helping them. It's cool, man.
We've got musicians now. We've got the lead singer of Gideon's Mob around, and he's available to help with music as well.
That's
custom theme songs, all that jazz.
We pulled all sorts of talents and creative, and it's great because it works sometimes like an exchange, but in other ways, it's just people that might not get noticed are getting noticed because they get to be on somebody else's project. Right. That helps them boost their stuff.
For sure.
And but then there's also it's also great because people will trade work.
Yeah.
And I'm good at this, you're good at that. Let's swap.
Yeah, you don't find this in the mainstream, and you're never going to. You know, as much as they're going to keep trying, right? They're trying to bleed over. They want to do YouTube shows now as well, and it's not going to be the same because they don't give a shit about any of these people. They don't. We do. We're all becoming friends, and that's why like that convention is going to be fucking crazy. Everyone is going to be like, you know, they got to wear their name tags or something of their handles from Twitter and YouTube. You know, and we're like, oh my god, I know you. It's going to be insane. But it's something, again, you don't see it anywhere else. You're not going to see it anywhere else. There's a reason why the numbers keep going up. There's a reason why these projects, and we're pushing so hard. Most of us are so sleep deprived because we're working our asses off to get these books out there. We want to keep growing this because we know this is something special. And the rest of them could go suck it.
Yeah.
Amen, brother. Exactly. Like I'm getting 5 or 6 hours sleep, and I'm in like 3 different time zones to make this happen. You know what I mean? Like this is hard work.
I know. You got to at least take one day off and fucking sleep properly. I'm saying it because I also have to do it.
Well, that's an interesting question.
I was gonna say I'll answer this really quick. It started when I needed a new Xbox Live account, and my nickname from a lot of my friends was Fizzgig, the little critter. So I tried to make that my new Xbox Live handle, and obviously it was taken. So I spelled it weird. It was taken. Spelled it with a Y. It was taken. I was getting annoyed because I wanted it in there somehow. And at the same time, I had friends over, and they were talking about Family Guy crap. And I laughed and I went, ha ha ha, that's funny, giggity. I'm going to put that, fizz giggity. That'll be funny. And it worked. And at first I was like, oh shit, it worked. And then I was like, but it sounds cool, fizz giggity.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely iconic. It's definitely easy. Even though it's a jumble of letters, it's like memorable letters.
It is.
Is
It's fun
fizz
to say.
gig an Ohioan euphemism?
Okay. And
I had never heard of it
it's
before.
Never taken. I've had every account I have to make on something. If I need an account name, it's fizz giggity because it's never freaking taken. And that means it's really easy to find me if you're trying to, see what else I'm up to or whatever.
Find out where you live so they can make a human skin suit out of you.
Yeah.
Maybe,
They want
maybe
the
a little.
wolf.
Speaking of stuff that happens in the woods, hey Vinny, how about that hardcover?
Yeah. Adam Post loves when I knock on it.
So good
Yeah,
luck.
it does.
Thanks, man.
You're knocking on wood.
Yeah.
There's an axe on the back of this one, folks.
This is a darker story for sure. I know a lot of people see the promos sometimes of Laura in the book, the main character. So basically, this chick, she inherits this property in upstate New York, and she finds out, this new land and all that. It was actually a lumberjack camp, about 100 years in the past. And that's where some really horrible things happened. And, the place is haunted. That's why none of her other relatives wanted it. There was rumors and speculation, but she actually encounters and kind of unwittingly reawakens one of the restless spirits. So, yeah, this is a cool story. Again, the cheesecake that's in it is just like any horror or, kind of ghost thing. You want a little bit of that kind of fun sexiness here and there because there is a lot of dark elements in it. And if it was all dark, it'd be no fun. So, yeah, you need to have a nice balance. And the ending is very, very satisfying. I think you guys are really going to dig this story. So, yeah, when you get a chance, please back this. Try to do it before the 19th. And, it looks like we're going to be hitting 25K. We got about 4 days left to do
Righteous.
it. If we do it, the free ash can is going to be thrown in. And again, it's just for those backers that, up until the 19th. So, get in on it early and you're going to be rewarded for sure.
Nice.
Already we have the bookmark that's been added as well. Again, the very first major stretch goal was the hardcover, the oversize. So we hit that very quickly within, I think, the first week. So, you guys are going to keep getting better stuff. Provided by some miracle. If we hit like 30K, again, getting cool stuff, but it has to be before the campaign, is done, but going right to print. As soon as I receive my money from Indiegogo, it's going to print, and then it's the fulfillment process, which is going to be kind of insane, because this is my biggest all in one shot, my biggest campaign. Almost 25K, like what is it, 420 backers I have now, 436 backers. That's a lot of books.
Yeah. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. And I got, I think, either 10 or 11 sketches I'm going to be doing. So it's going to be on the inside of the book. So whoever backs those tiers, they're going to get it all contained in one beautiful place. These are going to be shipped in a box. There's going to be no chicken on it, but it's going to be in a white box. So well protected. You guys are going to, I think you'll be very, very happy with this one. And like I said, there's a lot more coming up. City of Venus, along with the art books, are still available. These things ship immediately. So if you back it tonight, I'm pretty much put it in the mail tomorrow. So yeah. And thank you, everybody.
Well, it'll get there even faster. There won't be a lot of traffic on the road even. So zip, zip, zoom.
Yeah. It's going to be a good thing.
All right, you're on the spot now. You get to
now, Mr. Liam Gray. Would you like
Look
to
at
tell
that
us
handsome
about
guy.
Xenotype?
Hey guys. Hey. So Xenotype is a dark science fiction story about a teenage artist that has to rewrite his DNA, mind, and I screwed up my pitch.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Roll through it. You can do it.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, he gains the ability to rewrite his DNA, so that he can fight back against the sinister Black Diamond organization. If you don't know about it already, go check it out on Indiegogo. If you love sort of Comicsgate crossovers and CG manga, we've currently got a new cover out, which is just the first chapter that crosses over with Blade Devil. I screwed up my pitch. Put me on the spot. No, I love all you guys. Please know that I put a lot of work into Xenotype. Have a look at the campaign for yourself. Look at the videos. Decide if it's something you're going to be interested in. Decide if it's something you need, because this is it. This is your sort of one big shot to get it. It's not going to be available in this format again in the future. Thank you.
I think Liam distracted himself. He's like, man, that guy is so sexy. And then he lost his train of thought.
I had 3 pictures come into my head all at the exact same time. And I was I started saying one and then went into another, and then another one just sort of came in through. I was like, oh no, I've screwed up everything.
You didn't screw up anything. It's all good, brother.
But I love all you guys.
I was trying to find the link for Xenotype, and Cider Hype got me.
To try and make sense of that, if you don't mind, Liam, to try and make sense of that, Xenotype is a book that Liam and Odie have slaved over for over a year now, and they have constructed what will put action manga on its head. I know as soon as the Japanese market gets to see what Odie's done, their heads are going to explode. So this book is immediately going to become important on that end of the spectrum when it comes to the West from Japan again, where the Japanese are telling you, what I have today is going to blow your mind. You're going to lift it up and say, I already have it, you son of a bitch. I bought it 6 months ago. I got it from Liam Gray on Indiegogo.
Directly. Yeah.
We need to figure out how to keep Odie in a cage or something so that he doesn't get snatched up by anybody else.
He won't get snatched up by anyone else. I know that there are people that think they're going to come in and wave money in front of him and he's going to run off. They have no idea what they're dealing with. They don't understand the magnitude of what we've actually created and what we're doing. I'm confident that no one has anything that is more valuable than Xenotype within the current independent market. I'm not trying to be up my own ass. I know how this goes. I know what Odie wants to do. I know we already have our 5 years planned out. We know.
Wow, nice.
So
well, that's the thing, is that this story is so beautiful, Liam. You have created an interweaving of the dark sci-fi genre with the teenage hero discovering their own identity, with a reality bending look at what people may think they think in their own mind, but may not be their own thoughts. Then you've interlaced that with cute anime girls come on, dude. How my head's going to explode with all of this.
Well, that's exactly it. I wanted to be able to challenge people's preconceptions, but also have it be familiar while also being able to deliver a really sort of solid storyline, because people weren't getting good reading. So I didn't want to just give them good art. So this really is like an amazing story. It's fantastic. I know I'm the author, so I'm meant to say that, but this is very much a piece of mastercraft work. If you're into more serious stuff, if you're into the mystery and theory crafting of things, and you like character development and you like high stakes and consequence, Xenotype's for you. This is going to be as big as Death Note, potentially bigger. I'm not trying to blow smoke up my ass. This is a very big thing that is about to happen, and it's a very limited opportunity. So get it. Be one of those guys that can say, "Hey, I made this happen." You know.
You snatch these up because it sounds like Odie's going to be busy for a while. And man, he's 19, right?
Yeah, he's 19. When you're looking at the art,
Damn.
when you go and look at the art that we've sort of released, keep in mind this kid is 19 years old, and he's been drawing for about 3 years. That is how much of a prodigy he is. He's an
I was
absolute.
about this. Oh my.
He is. He
Liam,
really
do you
is.
want to tell him what happened, Liam?
Now I'm angry.
Do you wanna tell him?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell him what happened with Odie? With we got to stop. I got to redraw this. I refuse to move forward until I adjust these things. Do you want to tell him about that?
You tell, because I don't remember. There's been so much over the last year.
Oh, well, you came to me and you're like, I gotta tell you something. We might be a little bit behind schedule because Odie has come to a new level. Like he ascended like a Super Saiyan to a new level of art. And he's like, no, this panel and this panel and this panel is shit. I have to redo this. We're not going to print until this is redone. And I was blown away by this because like this kid's like, he's 19. He's like, no, this is not going to be my first book. I'm going to make sure that everything I learn at page 187 is evident on page 1.
Yeah, well,
that blew me away.
When we first started out, I said, I'm gonna show you something, and so I sort of took video of Ethan where he was saying, "Oh, I'm sort of ashamed of my previous art." I took video of art where he's going, "I'm kind of ashamed of my previous art," and I took video of Malin where he's like, "Oh, I'm embarrassed by my previous art." And I showed him this stuff, right? I made a little short little series of videos that I showed him, a few minutes long, that I collected over the course of a few months. I said, "This is." The story of every single starting artist. Mm-hmm. So you've got a choice where you're going to be able to have this be your best work, or it's going to be something that you're ashamed of later. And no matter how good it is, it's probably going to be something you're a little bit ashamed of later. But that's what you sort of should be working towards, something that you can at least be proud of. And so I drilled that into him in the first few weeks of us before I even started drawing the book. I was like, this is going to push you. This is going to be very hard, right? And he's like, that's what I want. I want to go to the next. I was like, okay. So we started him off, and he was doing well. And I was like, first up, we're going to get you your speed up. We're going to get you to the speed that you need to be, right? So we started working on that. And then after we got his speed up, we were like, right, now we've got to raise your quality so that your quality is as good as your speed again, so that you're not losing things. So we did that. And, it took us a few weeks going through designs and everything. Like when we started out, it would take Odie an entire day to draw one figure, right? Just this is what the character will look like. And it looked fantastic, but it took him a whole day. So we started.
I'm at right now. I am so bad for speed.
So yeah, well, I started him on that. We got him up and working, and then we sort of got. I think it was about page 16 or so. No. It was about page 30. It's about page 30-ish, 32-ish. I was like, all right, I want you to. We're really going to start to be going into a lot of the sort of more superhero stuff now, right? So I want you to really start studying anatomy. And he was good with anatomy before. He was good. But so I started getting him statues. Like I started getting Greek statues and things like that. I was like, study this, draw this, to sort of train him up and get him to the point where he got his anatomy really good. And so instead of drawing these sort of skinnier little anime guys like he had been drawing, he started adapting stuff. He was looking at like Jim Lee stuff. He was looking at stuff from, or X-Men Jim Lee. He was looking at like Bagley. I showed him a lot of Bagley. I was like, look, build on this, build on these sort of frames, look at what you're working with. And I showed him statues. So he started life drawing those. And so his art level just radically improved, because instead of drawing, I'm going to draw manga and anime, he started like going, I'm going to draw life in manga style. And that's why everyone's going, oh, it's very photorealistic and all this other stuff, because like he's leaning into that more realistic style. And so basically around page 32, he just exploded in talent because he developed all these new skills that he didn't previously have. And I'm like looking at him, I'm like, right. I'm like showing him live streams of other artists and stuff like that. And he's just developing like just in real time, like amazing. I've never seen anything like it. And so I'm just feeding him this stuff, you know? And then he just, again, by the time we hit page 60, he just went up a whole other thing. So if you look at Xenotype, the last part of our book, which I can't reveal a lot of, you know, but the art detail and the level is at a whole extra league than the beginning of the first volume. Like you can see his whole evolution through. It's insane.
I love that though.
Yeah, and basically when we get to the end, we've got a week sort of budgeted, well not budgeted, scheduled, where he's actually going to be able to go back and buff up his earlier work to the level that he's at the end, so that it's a solid quality product, like do touch-ups and stuff. But it's something he absolutely insists on because he's a perfectionist.
See, that's one thing that I like about artists though, is seeing the evolution of their art, because it's always going to be, the more they do it, the more it's going to evolve. And I've always liked seeing that, or if I like an artist, going back and looking at their old work, see where they came from, kind of deal, and then keep watching them go on. And I like it when it spreads over which you can see a lot in manga, because their stories are like, the way their stories go and drag out, kind of. So throughout an entire volume, you can see already like evolution of the art. And I always thought that was neat.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too with Odie as well. Keep in mind, again, this kid's a teenager, and his art is already on par with like late Berserk art, which everyone keeps comparing it to Gantz, and I like, thank you for the compliment, but like, I'm not trying to throw shade, but we're sort of better than Gantz. If you actually look at the Gantz sort of series, you'll see that like they've got some really good visuals. It's really nice. Odie is already at a level beyond Gantz. We took him, he passed that honestly at about page 60. So when you guys see what he's actually really capable of and realize this is just the beginning, it's really like, this is big. This is going to make huge waves nationally. And I'm not trying to undermine Gantz. It's great. It's got a lot of good panels, but Odie's work is superior. It has more detail. It's rude to sort of cast shade, I know, but keep in mind, this is also volume 1 of our book. You know, this is issue 1, and we're already at that level. So
yeah, it can only get more awesome from there.
Yeah, and Uncle Kucky, he's taking off, but he says you've got to have the stories, and yes, that is, Xenotype is very story driven. I've done a lot of work with it. I have full character arcs built. This will be a rich experience. There will be no filler.
Nice.
There is direction here. Everything matters. You know, even things you may think are a little bit irrelevant. Everything matters. There's meta context, there's meta narrative, there's subtext. It'll be easy to read. You'll be able to journey with these characters throughout their evolution and their growth, because that's a big part of what it is as a coming of age story. It's not just mindless battle. This really is a masterpiece. This probably is the best thing on Indiegogo right now. Like, and I know that's very arrogant to say, but I'm being honest with you guys. This is my best work. This is Odie's best work, and you can stand us against anything currently in the mainstream market, and I guarantee that we will be better than it.
Yeah, for those over here in the States and stuff, the shipping is worth it. It's less than Bigfoot Build 2 or whatever. Yeah. And when you see how much you're getting, it's worth it.
These are thick books. This is 200 pages of
200
content.
pages.
And the shipping is about a third of what you're being charged for Bigfoot Bill. I try to keep it as low as possible. In fact, I cared so much about the shipping of the backers that I'm actually having it eat into my profits just a tiny bit, out of my own personal cut, which isn't a lot as it is, just so that it can get over there and at that cheapest possible point, right? Because this right now is about building a relationship with you, the backer. It's about getting the product into your hand, because you can see how good Odie's art is and go, oh wow, that looks amazing. You're not going to actually understand what I'm selling you until you put the book down and go, holy shit, right? Like, that's what I need to get, because that's volume 2 is where it's going to be at. I want all you guys to come back, and for that, I need to get the story in your hands. I can't tell it to you over here. You see, I can barely read it live. I can barely read a pitch, right? But I can craft an amazing comic book story. That's what I do. That's what I'm good at. As good as Odie is at drawing, that's how good I am at writing comics. So pick this up, check it out. You will not regret it. It might seem like a lot. You will not regret it.
I'll put Insider on the spot now.
For what?
Oh, you're all quiet. For anything you want. Well, yeah. I'm wrapping up, and everybody gets a turn.
At the moment, I'm just currently developing the Colossals and the Ciderverse. It's slow going at the moment. Corona has slowed down quite a bit of stuff, so I don't really have anything to show. The poster from earlier that was just kind of the muscular lady that doesn't look SJWE, kind of the example. That's basically it. I went for like a book line art sample, but
well, what about your YouTube?
Yeah, the hype train. Yeah, I ended up having to cancel with Call Me Mark this week because North Korea crushed my internet. So,
oh
yeah, I no sooner hit go live, and I went from 53 megabytes per second to 8.
wow, dang.
It was like Kim Jong-un sat his fat ass down on my internet cable, and that was the end of it.
There you go. Find Cider Hype on YouTube, and so you can keep up and keep track. He's got future stuff. That's kind of where I'm at. My stuff is future stuff. And in the meantime, you can enjoy the Through the Woods and the art books and stuff, and Xenotype. You can go get your hands on that while you're waiting. Let me hold on. Where's?
Yes, absolutely. Sorry, I was.
And remember, these are all Comicsgate members here, like you in the chat and those watching afterwards and those prospective lookers on. This is what Comicsgate looks like. The community of people, a network of creators, a network of artists, a network of musicians, advertisers, fans, and just general do-gooders. So as I say in my tweets a lot, do this. This is what heroes do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also,
right.
you can find Vinny Art, Liam Gray. He's got his at Retro Boy. You can find all of them on Twitter. If you're on the Twitter, you can find me on the Twitter at FizzGiggity. If you're new here, if you are new here, I totally suggest subbing, because as soon as I get on top of a lot of other stuff, despite my hatred for video editing, I am going to try to start putting up videos on this channel.
Beautiful. Yeah, I also have a YouTube as well. It's Vinny Art. You could find it on YouTube as well. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of showcases on other creators. I've been getting some celebrity guests on. So yeah, I'm going to keep trying to change it up whenever I can. I try to get at least 1 or 2 of them in a week.
Nice.
Nice. And sign up for the Graded Point 5 mailing list, which I don't.
It's down in the doobly-doo.
Oh yeah, it's down in the description. For all things Graded Point 5, it'll announce people's projects. It'll also be like a newsletter. The Indiegogo mailing list for Peregrine Wings of the Falcon, I think goes out in a couple of days, I believe.
Get hype, it's coming.
Right. So keep an eye out for that, and just remember, trigger warning. I know there's tons of books and crap already called trigger warning, but it's just a fitting title. And Specimen Ayla. Keep your eyes out Eventually. Just remember those names.
Yeah.
All right. That was a lot of fun for my first trying to do this solo. It didn't end up too bad. Rough start.
You did good.
Thanks, you guys, for coming and helping.
No,
well,
it's
thanks
great.
for
We
having
always
us
enjoy
on
it.
and letting us promote these wonderful books to these customers.
I love that the most is any chance I get to do that, whether it's just retweeting stuff or if it's stuff like this right here. I love being able to help in any way possible, and that's really cool. Good night, everybody, and good night, you guys.
Have a great night, everyone.
Bye-bye.